Warning. The following stream contains references to graphic violence, sexual themes, and coarse language, and is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello there! I'm Drew, your humble dungeon daddy for the evening with Crimson Conquest, Secrets of the Blood-Red Bastion. This is the wonderful, beautiful, amazing cast. Look at them all. They are so wonderful. I just want to squeeze all their little faces and just give them little forehead smooches. Like, look at them! Look at them! I love them! Before we get into things, we have two people here to shill some things. Ian, it's up to you. What are you shilling today?
Well, you should get a shirt with a pocket in it, because you can put your dice in it, and it might or might not touch your nipple. That's the only thing. It's not a shirt I'm selling. I'm just recommending it.
Shirts with pockets.
Sure, yeah.
And Ren, I know you got something to shill too, and if I'm not mistaken, is it not also shirt related?
It is also shirt related. Let me tell you.
Holy shirt.
Holy shit. If you want cool D&D themed
I do.
t-shirts, hoodies, whatever the fuck else is on that site that I don't remember off the top of my head. There's also a really good mug on there. It's like huge. It's like this big. It's fucking
big mugs.
all the coffee. You should go to jakeyboyarts.com and click on the shop button.
Do it.
Because you too can own a shirt like this.
Whoa! Look at that little dragon and a little D20 egg. Oh my gosh.
A little what, sorry?
Orange and cute and adorable.
A little what, sorry?
Well, no.
Man, I knew I couldn't do it, but the second that was said, I was like, oh, he's close. He was there.
Just on the edge there. Also, as always, startplaying.game/gm/dicey encounters or startplaying.game/gm/jakeyboy.
Do it. Go do it. It's almost holiday time. Do it. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but it's almost holiday time, so do it.
It's almost holiday time, which means that you're more likely to want to escape being around toxic family members.
Jeez,
and
yeah, that's true.
Being with the family that you choose around the table. Stop playing games.
Well, I got some news for you, cast. It looks like viewers love y'all, because last session, I'm gonna start with the lowest and go up to the highest. Just me, I got 2 inspirations. Jane, Ian, and Rin got 3. Yep, that's 3, count them. Jakey, you got 4. And Caitlin, you got 6 inspirations last session.
Exciting.
Yay.
Why?
Yeah, but I mean,
6 inspo. 6 inspo.
That half hour in the middle, like, I watched that and I was just horrified the entire time. Like, it was so good.
Chat, there was nothing in chat. It was that good because people were just like,
chat was just there, just like, holy. It was incredible. It was amazing.
So if you missed that last episode, go check it out on Spotify or YouTube, and we'll put the links. I'll put the links in the chat right here, right now. Look at me go. I'm doing it right this second. Do you see it? Because I did it without hands. Look at me. Whoa.
I can't even be like, oh, it's gonna be me, because last time it wasn't. Drew actually did the thing, so
I did the thing. Look at me go. Hey, guess what, chat and cast? It's time to roll for recap.
oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Okay, with this,
Nat 20! Sorry, I got really excited.
I'm sick. Please don't make me do this again.
oh my god. If Jakey, if you get the lowest roll, I will do it for you. But with there being 2 separate, not separate games, but separate meetings of characters, I don't want to just put Caitlin on the spot here, but I would love to hear a kind of a surmise of what happened to Maeve in that moment, because I am scared based off of what I've already heard. I also got a 14.
I got a 15.
I got a 19.
I've got a 14.
Ooh,
But
roll off.
I'm a 14.
It's a
14.
Jane recap.
Oh no.
I also rolled a 14 though.
Oh no,
Didn't
didn't Jane get
the main
4?
Recap, and
Oh,
then
you got a 4,
I'll-
not a 14?
Jane got a
Yeah.
4.
I got 14.
1, 2,
Oh, Jane got a
3,
4.
4.
Okay, why did I roll this way the one time I didn't listen to the episode on Spotify?
It's just
Those
that's how.
re-listens are the only way my brain will
Karma.
remember what happened.
It's okay, Jane. We'll help. We'll help.
Okay.
Um, Do you,
Gonna
do
need a
you-
lot of it.
Do you want? I also can I use a portent roll on this?
You know what? Yeah, do it.
Okay, so this is for
Divination
the
wizard. Let's go.
this is for the most recent rest. I have a 14 and a 19 for my most recent long rest. So if I give you a 14, it does become a reroll on that.
That's a
and
triple reroll.
That would be. Would it be fair to have Caitlin
True,
roll this
true,
though?
true.
Did you end up listening to the whole thing already?
No.
Okay. So
I've got a mild recap where, like, I know you guys were having a grand old time while I was getting tortured, but that's pretty much it.
Fair and accurate.
So should it just be me and Jane to roll for recap here if Caitlin's gonna have
how about
part of the
this?
recap anyways?
How about this? How about this? Hear me out. I don't know. This is gonna be wild. This is gonna be crazy. You ready?
All right. I'm listening.
Okay.
He's procrastinating enough that this is gonna be good. Guys, trust me, Drew is delayed enough. What he's gonna say next is gonna blow your
never been
mind.
higher.
There is honestly, I don't think anything Drew could say will be more profound than in this moment.
Honestly,
Are you ready?
Honestly.
Here we
Let
go.
him cook.
Jane and Ian both do the recap, and Caitlin, you recap your part.
Sure.
My mind is blown.
Yeah, all right. I guess it was okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
love
if-
you.
love you too.
if I'm gonna be, rooming with anybody, it's good that we, go over how the days are going, and it's a great opportunity to truly get to know each other if we can. Get to know each other by reliving what we've lived at the same time in the same rooms.
Definitely a normal roomie activity is to recap your previous week together. Just sit down in the living room and just go over.
I mean, actually,
It's the weekly check-in.
yeah. It almost sounds like the millennial struggle of the past 3 years. So I'm ready to kick this off. Little kick.
Little kick. Just a little kick.
So I don't necessarily remember how I was feeling going down when Alatius brought us to the farm area, Morgrid, but when I saw the opportunity to feed in front of us, I was kind of blown away. I ended up finding a magical man who is conveniently way too into being bitten.
Please bite me again.
He's haunting me. I knew it would happen. Who did you find, and what were you looking for in a
Oh.
feed?
So it was my first time selecting a person to feed on as well, and I wasn't sure what my tastes were, so I went for someone who I guess had something I wanted or was jealous of. So I went for that, and it was a really great experience for me, Mordred. And after we fed, where did we go after that?
Well, I know that Foster came down and he was able to feed on a big old muscle man. I saw that Astrofel ended up grabbing a wrist, took a bite. Didn't seem that impressed. Maybe there's more going on, but from there we were able to follow Elatius, and we passed by a couple of, I'm guessing, more menacing. What were they called? There were other vampires that were visiting, and
Advertisers.
they were advertisers like Gillette razors and Timothy Chalamet.
Are these like brand reps? Brand reps came to the Blood Right Bastion. Vampiric brand reps.
They're putting
Okay.
up a billboard outside, and it's gonna cause so much traffic to the Bloodright Bastion. I am incredibly impressed for it. But we did run into two very menacing beings, such as I think it was Thane Kosk, a big lizard fellow, and a blue-skinned elf. I believe that was Lord Nazus, I believe, if that is correct. And what was his name? Denny? Did we take Denny's room because they killed him? Was it Denny's
Danny.
room?
Danny. Yeah.
I'm gonna call him Denny. That sounds more.
Yeah, he kind of like killed him and drained him right in front of us as we walked by.
I've seen horrible creatures before in the past. That is one I will try to avoid. Hence why I
don't know. I was kind of impressed,
I can see you being impressed.
but a little intimidated. I'll admit, I was a little intimidated.
I mean, to intimidate you would be very impressing. So that is understandable. So we ended up, we saw Hoster's not closet room. Very, very cozy is the best way to put it, I would say. Beautiful, beautiful layout.
And lots of artwork all over the walls. Lots of framed drawings. There was one of us, actually.
So touching. It was so touching.
When he had time to do this, I don't know, but Hoster's full of surprises.
Also an impressive / intimidating thing to be aware of. But once we saw his room, we were able to get our own, and in that same foul swoop, essentially, we got to find our own coffins, and I'm still.
We got our
so
own coffins.
And then we switched over to Maeve.
Star.
Yeah.
Maeve, what happened to you?
So Hoster dragged me down to this dungeon. Fuck Hoster, by the way. And and basically I was put into this cell with this magical wall, and it was all dark. And nobody would tell me anything. I didn't know why I was down there. Especially after I was so good. I brought back extra people, and I didn't eat any of them. So whatever. It's kind of rude if you ask me. But then they were starving me, and then there was this one guy who kept coming to visit and asking me questions about like how hungry I was. And I think it was like the second or third day, he asked me or I guess the first day, I found some cracks in the wall, so I turned into a spider to see if I could get out. But I could not. I was just chilling in the wall. But the guy came in and saw that I was missing, so he turned on the sunlight. But thankfully, I was able to stay as a spider in the crack for a while until it went away. And then he told me that he would give me some blood if I answered his questions. So I answered his questions, and then he handed me basically a hologram of a cup of blood and set it down in front of me, which is pretty rude, So of course Maeve was not happy about that. She started to go a little bit crazy. I think after that he also turned the sunlight on, but Maeve was already plotting, so she just suffered in the sunlight that time. But at some point she started to get a little bit crazy and basically just throwing herself against the wall, just trying to get out. But thankfully, I think amidst her thrashing about, she loosened up this this rune on the wall, and it just crumbled away, and so that made the magical door dissipate, and I turned into a brown bear and attacked the guy who had been torturing me. And that was very satisfying. He tried to beg for his life, but that sucks. So, and then I left, and I saw you guys in the hallway. We've had a fun time.
We cut back over to Rias and Morgrid looking for coffins and caskets.
I think you should tell us about your cool new coffin first. I am adoring it. It is so nice.
I do love my coffin. It is matte black on the outside. On the inside, it is. Is it purple? I think it's purple velvet on the inside. It had a skeleton occupant, but I knocked it out. He's been in there long enough. It's mine now, and yes, it'll be my resting place. And it's also very light and easy to carry for me. So he's gonna move around, I guess.
Sure, yes, sure. Your coffin is so light. It's even I couldn't actually lift it up. But my smaller coffin is I think it must be heavier because I couldn't lift mine. I didn't attempt to lift yours, but I definitely couldn't lift mine. But I found this lovely wooden coffin. It was it looks like it had golden inlays, maybe like elven make leaves. And inside there was like a sky blue padding, and honestly, it makes me think of hovering over the mountains up north and feeling the cool breeze between my wings. It did get banged up being brought to the room, but that's so over time. I'm sure it'll happen. Hoster was in the coffin, even though he wasn't initially. Elacius and I expected it, and that was a whole. It was fun. It was fun. But from there, I believe we went down and met with vendors that are offered to us vampires. I did keep a record of some inventory we found after Hoster decided to activate all of the pocket coffins. There was a vial. It had golden runes on it. The ever-fresh blood vial. You'll see what it does when we use it. Don't worry about it. There was a dagger. I think it was the blood drain dagger, which I pointed out to you, Margaret. And there's the bat ear cuff. I believe it was the blood tooth ear cuff there, and a necklace, which I am so excited to have in my possession here. The Crimson Amplifier. And that's what I remember. Everything since then has kind of been blurry. Did anything else happen?
You covered a lot. I am not recalling anything else.
It's fine. You all just walked out of the room and saw your friend there, beaten and bloodied, staring at you in the hallway.
Are you still in brown bear form?
No, I couldn't open the door with my paws.
Life's hard without opposable thumbs.
What happened to you? Oh my goodness. I walk over and just like circle around, check out whatever injuries are in front of me on Maeve. What happened?
I'm leaving is what happened. I was punished for being good, so I'm leaving. Fuck these people and fuck Coster because he put me there. And Maeve is gonna start walking towards an exit. Towards an exit.
She can't leave. She's part of the crew. How we gotta get her to stay.
I don't think she's going to want to, but I don't think she realizes that it wasn't exactly Hasta. You should go after her. Give her this, and I just hand over a vial of blood.
I can do that. I grab it and. But wait, before you leave, I think it's worth, maybe, since you're already of vampiric in nature, you're already in a group of of peers who it seems, likewise with me, support you. And I don't think it's a very fresh, very untouched conversation in my ears. But I don't think Hoster is aware of his actions. I wasn't aware that he had done this, but he was definitely acting a bit strange when he joined us after he was dismissed from the room when you were taken. There might be more to this, and it might be worth going along with whatever this is. Whether it's some facade, whether it's some deeper meaning to this existence here with these vampires, or vampires in general.
Are you just holding the vial of blood in your hand while you're talking?
I'm holding it like in front of you, just like as I'm talking.
Maeve is just gonna like snatch that and down it all in one go, and try to keep walking.
I'm like hovering like as you take that to the like essentially at your shoulder to shoulder, but not like I'm not like on top, but that's like the level I'm fluttering at.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to speak lower than I normally would, but anything that might be a rash decision, this might be it. And I am too inexperienced in this world and too inexperienced as a vampire to really put any weight on life outside of here or life inside of here.
Well, these people obviously function in a state of constant, control and rules, and unfortunately that's just not me. And I definitely don't want to hang around a giant blob of goo that has no control over himself if he didn't have control over himself. Why would I want to stay with somebody who is obviously like working for who now I feel are the bad guys?
There's no good.
I mean, I did good. I was trying to do better, and I brought back people, and I didn't eat any of them, but they still decided to starve me, and who knows how long that would have lasted if I hadn't managed to get out. So I'm going to get out while I have the chance.
Would I know, with how little I've experienced in this, in the keep here, in the bastion, do I know what happens to those who defect? Was that something that has ever been told to us, or
not to you specifically?
I look over at Astrophel, and I'm not gonna say it out loud, but I'm gonna like wave over. Second, please.
I woke up. You know we're leaving today anyway, right?
I do.
Well, I will be outside if you leave fast enough.
Wait outside for us. We will not take long. Please don't do anything too rash. We might all be able to benefit out of what you had experienced, and I don't want to ever use torture as an outside benefit. Not of others that I am. You all have been very hospitable. I don't want to lose that, and I don't want to lose you as a companion here. So please wait. We'll be away. We'll be able to discuss how we move forward as we go. Is that okay?
I'm still gonna go, but I'm hungry, so maybe I'll get stopped along the way. Because Maeve is like, as of right now, Maeve is like the only intention that I have is to like go, mainline one of those trees again. Like that's what Maeve is actually probably going to be going to do. So she's probably going to go through a couple of trees. So you guys probably have time.
Well, I turn to the rest. That's all about I could do.
Some
it
people... Go on, Precious.
It seems that she is determined, and sounds like hopefully we'll run into her and be able to continue, I don't know, having her help on tasks, maybe outside of this. Is there an outside of this, or are we forever committed to the Bloodright Bastion? Is that our lives now?
I don't have an answer. I doubt it. Because I think when a group has power, there are always going to be people against them. So I think there are going to be options out there. But what they look like, I don't know. And whether they're worth it, or whether they're just another leash, I have no idea.
Well, we'll have a lot of time to dwell on this as we're out and about. We should get a move on to have any chance in catching back up with Maeve and really being able to really sort this out as we go. I've had my bouts of doubt and my senses of fear, and rightfully so, it seems.
Yeah, I don't think Maeve is feeling fear or doubt. I think Maeve is feeling rage.
Understandably. And with rage brings compulsion, it brings rash decision making. And we could use not that as our benefit, but we could have Maeve help with whatever we end up deciding we want to do. In the long run, it might take time. Vampires live a very long time from what I've heard. It might take some time to make a difference. And maybe running is the safest way to be, or the quickest way to be safe in some way, but that's, safe to a cap.
Do we trust her around Hasta?
There is an amount of trust that we do not have with Haster, whether you want to have it or not, because of what... I don't know if saying the name will actually make ears spawn on the walls. I know magic can be terrifying, and I'm not going to say the name of the big scary lady.
She knows.
She knows.
Hoster heard, so she knows. Hoster saw, so she saw. Hoster doesn't mean to.
I know,
Hoster
Dad.
didn't want to hurt Maeve.
This is a prime opportunity to begin to understand what we're maybe not up against, or might actually be up against, but also a good opportunity to blend together, let tempers cool, let fears and anger and all of that malice removed from the situation. Highs and lows will skew one's thinking. We must keep a level head, and in doing so, we must make sure each other keep a level head. But we know what Hoster, what happens with Hoster. We saw firsthand a change occur. Not anything that we can control.
I have a question.
Yes.
Have you ever had control of yourself taken from you?
I suppose being here is, in a way, losing some sort of control, but I have never let my own conscience slip. I've never been in a position where I didn't have that choice. And I don't know Hoster's history. And
I trust your good intentions when you say we need to keep level heads, but let me assure you that is the last thing you would have in that situation. It is terrifying.
And that's why we need to be even ground and a secure place for anyone that we want to have comfort and by our side in this time. I may have just killed an old man in a cage, but I'm not heartless. He was bound to death in this place anyways.
He won't die, that would be wasteful. You should catch up with Maeve. I have a quick conversation to have, and then I will join you.
All right. I think I know where to find Maeve. Anyone want to join me?
Hoster allowed?
If you would like to be. I'm outside the door. Oh, yeah, if you would like to be. I would like you to be.
I don't know if Maeve is ready to see Hoster right now, or vice versa. Should we get to Maeve
looks at the
first
ring.
and maybe try to, talk her down a little bit with the Hoster situation? Maybe you and I can go vouch for Hoster in his stead before they meet again face to face.
Hoster won't be there.
Hoster takes his hand and a ring illuminates, and through a hellish yell sound, the slime starts to congeal and pull together, almost becoming more sinewy and solidified, and Hoster looks like a human.
Oh.
He has one kind of grayish blue eye and one that almost like a green yellowed eye that has almost a reptilian iris. He's got this shorter black hair. He's very tall, and just triangle build. He looks very similar to when Hoster was a tiefling.
I'm
It's
not
new.
Hoster.
Who do you want to be?
Don't care. Anybody else?
I flutter back over. I put my hand on the new formed human shoulder. It's not wrong to be Hoster.
It is now.
I understand the way you're feeling about that. Give yourself time. And I pat shoulder and I flutter off.
Well, come along with us then, I suppose. Although, you might want to change your voice as well. She'll undoubtedly recognize your voice.
Okay. I will practice while walking.
Hoster just starts mumbling to himself little phrases and things.
As you are all moving outside, Rias and Morgrid, you're the first two to notice this, but you hear the sounds of shoes moving across like this kind of granite floor. It's just kind of almost like little squeaks until you see this figure slide past a corridor, and you hear the sound of the squeaks coming to a stop that just go as moves back. It's Elacius. Elacius looks at the two of you and says, I'm so glad I caught you both before you left. Here is this, and he pushes this chest into you, Rias. He's goodness gracious, give me a smoker.
Awful for your lungs.
Yeah. Okay. So, when you two were brought here, you were brought with items. Here are both of yours back. So here this is. I believe this one goes to you, and this one goes to you. As Elacius hands you, Rias, a sash, and I'll let you describe what it looks like.
Out of Elacius's hands, he gets handed this. It's definitely a sash. Goes over like a robe, over underclothes. Maybe could be. Over, and then goes under like a jacket if necessary. But it is this. It's almost as thick as leather. Maybe it was worked so much that is worn down, but in it there's embossed designs. They look very geometrical, and it's almost to the point where it goes from a dark brown to a worn ashy gray. And on the inside of the sash near the bottom, where there might be a little bit of a sewing spot or a spot where the bonding happened, there's a little tag that says sash of reverse Dwagar. And he puts it on, and for a moment it looks as though that Rias's size shrinks, and then he comes back. Like it was almost like an after image where he just goes, oh, wonderful.
And I believe this one goes to you as Aloysius pulls out this small arm cuff to hand to you, Morgan, and I'll let you describe what it looks like.
It is a mainly copper, just kind of filigreed cuff bracelet, and it emits kind of an amber glow. And should I roll for history to see if I know what this thing does or what it is?
You do. It was on your person when you were taken to the blood.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, so, my cuff, I got it back, yay. It's the cuff of discretion, and this allows me to be a lot more sneaky in dim light and even sneakier in full darkness.
Aloysius looks over to you, Astrophel, and says, I don't know where the items are for you and Maeve. However, when I find them, do be assured I will send them with the Raven messengers.
I barely remember what I turned up with. It's fine.
That is fair. Good luck with the Maeve thing. So sorry. As Aloysius,
before you...
he's like literally mid, like, and he stops for a second. He's like,
Is the mother available for a quick chat?
I don't see why not. Maybe?
Wonderful.
I don't know. Good luck.
Thank you.
Goodbye. The halls are now empty. Rias Morgrid, you were just given your items back that you were retrieved with. You have this new hoster in front of you as well. The hallways, other than the squeaking noises of Aloysius' shoes, have ceased. Occasionally you'll hear something in the room next to you that you were just in fall off the wall and how inconvenient, you hear from the doorway.
Sorry.
But yes, this is where you all find yourself. Maeve, you've made your way outside of the bastion itself, and you have made it over into the Sanguine Oaks. As you do, your fingertips rub up against the bark of these trees as you move past one. And as you start moving further into the oaks, you start feeling the vines moving down towards your arms and slowly latching. And that is where we will leave you for the moment and go back to the group.
If it's cool, I rolled for Gits and Shigs a performance to see if Hoster could figure out a comprehensive voice. With a 14, what would that give me, Drooby Dooby Doo? Is Hoster able to mask his Hosterness, or what am I looking at?
It's not going to be a perfect vocal change. However, it is going to be different enough from Hoster that I would say most people wouldn't pick up on who you were.
Okay, cool. Perfect. I will keep that in mind.
Rias and Morgrid, you're moving outside, and I believe Astrophel, you are going to go see Mother Kadira. Astra, where are you going?
Hoster is given a good probably 40, 50 feet like distance to Ryas and Morgrid, just kind of like watching them a bit, listening to people, things they say, and trying to pick up other pieces of like if there's conversation or anything, to try and give himself a crash course on how to not be himself, for reasons that are totally just to do with the ring and no other reasons. But Hoster, while like kind of walking, stops by and sees like paned glass and this ring. Hoster, like the others, doesn't have a reflection, but this ring being not illusory, making him actually have a body, seeing a reflection makes him kind of like look in the mirror a bit, and then he starts doing that thing where he's trying to like do like facial expressions like, this is what a person would do. So he's got his face against glass and he's like, so he's doing that for a bit while trying to keep an eye on like the others. Yeah, he's just mostly puttering around trying to put on his best disguise of somebody else.
It is incredibly sad. Astrophel, you are headed to Mother Kadira's lab. Are you taking anyone with you, or are you making this a solo adventure?
Hey, if I told them all to go catch up with Maeve, so.
Okay. Astrophel, you've made your way. You have to go to another tower to get to the laboratory, and you've been taking your time and getting over there. And after a short amount of time, you've made your way to the closed door of Mother Kadira's lab.
I will knock.
The door itself has no doorknob per se, no visible way for it to unlatch and open. As you knock on there for a moment, you get no response at first, and then the door, you hear a locking mechanism on the inside as it opens slightly. The door moves roughly about a foot open.
Straighten my appearance a little bit. Stick my head through. Mother Kadira?
Inside, there are it's this green glow from this candlelight made of this verdant green flames on different candles. As you peek your head in, you can see Mother Kadira standing at a desk. She picks up this ampule and breaks off the top as she pours it into a larger beaker and pours it.
Yes, Astrophel.
Thank you for seeing me, Mother Kadira, and I give her a short bow. You may be aware that we are heading to Silben shortly.
Yes.
There has been a slight complication in our party dynamic, and I am concerned that Haster's unique situation may be taken advantage of in a heated moment. Obviously, I would prefer that the status quo is kept. Would it be possible to understand a little better what makes Haster tick? Just so I can make sure that as a group, we avoid commonly used words that might trigger some sort of reaction.
She sets down the ampule and for the first time turns and faces towards you. It's this very odd, like, cricking motion as she glances over your way. She looks over towards this small doorway. She looks back the other way as she takes her fingernail, these long, at least 7-inch nails. She takes one of them up in the air and starts tracing a sigil in the middle of the air in front of her. And as her fingernail moves, you can see magic leaking from the tip of her nails as she starts forming this sigil. What languages do you know?
Celestial, Common, Elvish, and Infernal.
In Infernal, you see words start forming around this sigil that are in place. It takes a little bit to try and understand them as you're looking from behind, and it's like a inverted look at these words. Can you roll me an investigation at advantage?
Yes. Oh, that is a dirty 20. The filthiest of 20s.
Fucking filthy.
It's disgusting.
Disgusting.
They get dirtier every time.
As you're reading this inverted infernal script, it says, "The name that is spoken is mine alone. Lest he break the curse, he shall be disowned." Right, so it goes in this like kind of circle. As she places her whole hand against the sigil, her hand emits in this bright purple flame as the sigil disappears. It says,
No one else will be using the name I control him with, nor the gifts that I have bestowed upon him.
Good. Yes. Just wanted to make sure that that was protected against. I have instructions should things go sideways, and Aster is a priority.
He is, but should he fall, do not worry. I can always make more.
Duly noted. Well, thank you for your time, Mother Kadira.
Be gone.
as she flicks her hand towards the door opens wide.
Quick bow. Leave.
Door slams behind you. Hear the locking mechanisms in the door.
Start making my way back to the entrance, and after I want to say at least 100 feet away, I just like, shh.
Rias and Morgred, you've started making your way outside, and as you exit through the door, looking out into the Sanguine Oaks, it's not hard to spot Maeve. You see this almost path of trees where these trees are normally like bright crimson red. There is this pathway where the colors have dulled and dulled and dulled until finally you see 3 trees all at once being fed on.
Oh my gosh, she's gonna get us banned from the Sanguine Oaks. We've gotta go stop this right now.
I hurry over along with Morgred, and I just think to myself, God, where's Astrofel to make some comment about 3 and 1? Oh. And as we're about to hurry over, I stop actually and let Morgred run ahead. Hoster, do you want to be called by any other name?
When Rias comes back, Hoster is still holding his hands up against the mirror. However, Hoster's right eye has runic script on it, and Hoster is looking at the wall, his eye glowing, and he's muttering, "Whose name is mine?" And eventually kind of snaps out of it.
What do you feel would be a good name?
I will admit, I feel wildly uncomfortable trying to name you. The first thing that came to mind was Gorax. I don't think that's good.
I just almost spit my water. Fuck you.
Gorax is kind of awful, I will admit.
Rage in the head.
Let's go with Axor for now. Flip it, without the G.
Sure. All right. Actually, pretty badass name, and not bad as in the bad kind, but reverse it, it is brutal.
Yes, I am following this conversation.
I'm glad.
Normal human smile.
Yes. I'm glad you announced it. You can announce it in your head only if you're going to be doing the action. It might help out, because when we smile, we think it. It may be subconscious, inside, not out. Let's go.
What?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Come on.
I'm going to say I am worried about it. I do things. I am walking. I am smiling. Hello, person. As he just waves at someone, I am walking through this hallway. As Hoster's putting way too much emphasis on using I, just over and over, not speaking in third person.
As you wave to this other person, Rice, there's another vampire who happens to be going down the same hallway, as stops and looks at you, Rice, and says, "What an unusual familiar."
I
Yes, we are friends. We are very familiar.
I was about to say the same joke. I don't you dare make assumptions like that. Thank you so much. And I usher us forward more.
How odd. As they
I am a familiar.
You are not a familiar. You are do I see any like vampire teeth at all?
He has no fangs or anything like this. He looks like a person. Yeah.
You are an ally. Don't call yourself a familiar. You are an ally. A friend.
An ally. There's so many. Nope. Anyway,
Make the joke. Make a joke. I don't know what you're gonna say.
So as an ally, does that mean I also get to celebrate on the
No. Astropal charging in from miles away. No!
Okay. He's only disguised. He's like right now. He may be an ally outwardly, but inside.
Kill him. Also, I need to write down Axor so I don't forget this.
I need to write that down.
I'm thinking Axor, like Haxorus, the Pokemon, and so I'm gonna try not to put an H because of Hoster. I'm trying my best.
I'm spelling it how Haster would spell it, which is like spelling spelling almost like someone coughing. ACKSR, Axor, but Axor.
I like that name actually.
I have that in parentheses now.
Cool.
Yes, the three of you, Exor, Morgred, and Rias, you can see Maeve off in the distance, feeding on 3 different trees at the same time. Almost looks as if she has passed out.
How far away is she?
Realistically, probably about maybe Probably about 90 to 100 feet away.
Okay, I'm gonna cast message and whisper something to Maeve to see if she answers back. As I can see her lying there, so I cast message and I whisper. We're gonna say something?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard you about to say something. And I just cast, Maeve! Maeve, are you awake?
Maeve is not awake.
So I pick up speed and start running because I'm concerned because I see my friend laying on the ground.
I start booking it when you start booking it faster, so I'm going faster too. Onaxa.
I am running with friends.
It's very Terminator run, just very mechanical.
Absolutely.
Part of me thinks it's like the Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs run too, but
Flintlock wood! Maeve!
The
Oh my god.
three of you make it over to Maeve, as Maeve is essentially just lying there with vines from 3 different trees latched onto her forearms, one of which almost seems like it's wrapped around her neck, with the end of the tendril just stabbed.
gosh, you're being drained herself back into. I don't know if that's possible. Does anybody know anatomy better than I would? I don't really know it well.
Would
My ear starts ringing.
prior to like reading the book and stuff, is there some kind of check like that is anything but intelligence that Hoster could use to like figure this out? Because I feel like
wisdom.
Yeah.
oh
medicine is wisdom.
yeah, I was gonna say, could I do medicine or something just to see like if like Maeve is being like not attacked but like harmed by these at this point?
Yeah, you can either do medicine or survival.
Oh, I'm doing survival then.
Nice.
I'm gonna use an inspo on that because that's an 8. Are you kidding me? It did 20 and then it just stopped. 11.
With an 11, have you ever used these trees yourself, Axor?
I think Hoster has been present for lots of people using them because I don't think Hoster can use like Hoster the form they're in now could, but I think Hoster being like more gelatinous and whatnot and not a humanoid, Hoster doesn't really have a way of letting them do their thing. But I think Hoster has seen like a lot of people come out here and stuff. That's why Hoster was very much like the, oh yeah, this is the artificial blood stuff.
So with an 11, you don't believe at least the ones on the arms are doing any harm, but maybe the one around the neck.
I think Hoster is just gonna Axor is going to just pry that one off and try and put pressure on the wound.
Maeve, you are in the middle of having a dream. In this dream, you are seated on this black sand beach with black water lapping up against your legs. As you lie there, and off in the distance, you can hear the sound of a hammer smacking something metallic in the background. You look up to the sky, there are no stars, it is just this black void. And as you stop and you sit up for a moment, you feel like you're about to wake from this dream. Off in the very far distance, you see this single red point floating above the water. And around it, there's something and you're not quite sure, but it seems like there are 20 of these things floating around it. As immediately you're woken. You see Morgred and Rias around you. And this human. You can roll a perception on this.
Okay. Uh, 14.
With a 14, you're not sure who this is.
Don't mind our friend, new friend Axer. He's been very diligent.
You were dying.
Thanks. And Maeve's just gonna, like, stand up and take the other vines off and just start continuing on to leave.
As you take the 2 vines off, the rest of you can watch as those 2 specific vines that came off the 2 different trees kind of like wither up and start just like doing weird convulsions as the trees start to sag, appearing to be fully drained.
Oh, poor things.
They will restore. There's people who tend to these so that they will. This is a last effort in case the farm fails. Or so I keep being told.
Well, that's a positive. Of course, with these being drained, we probably should start to think about heading out. Maeve, there's a lot of... I don't want to just preach to you. Do you want to hear out how I would like to approach this personally? It is on the more selfish side, since it is me requesting something of you who had just gone through something very traumatic.
I will listen, but I'm not gonna make any promises.
All I ask is for the ears. Thank you so much. Kind of picking up where I was before in the hall. I don't think anybody, including Hoster, had any desire to do what had happened to you. I look around out here. Do I see anybody else out in the around with the trees here, just in the distance anywhere?
Just looking around, you do see the Watchers, which are those wraith-like figures that kind of haunt this woods. But they're far away. You're looking at like 150 to like 300 feet away.
Okay.
If he didn't want to, that almost makes it worse because he had no control over it. And I don't want to be put in that position again.
I understand. Absolutely.
And I know that you guys are traveling to go do something. I will travel with you at least until, where your business is to be conducted. But I will not be helping you conduct said business. And then once we are there, I'll figure out what I'm gonna do. But I can't go back.
I yell from like 15 feet away. So you're saying you'll travel with us?
Just until the next spot, yes.
That's more than... Not that I was expecting, but more than I feel as though would be worth giving to not...
It's only because I'm weak right now, and I don't know if I could make it through the woods alone.
Listen, Maeve, if I have to deal with this group of people, you have to deal with this group of people too. Okay.
Charming. I just appeared behind y'all.
The group of people is not the problem, excluding Hoster from that sentiment. But the fact is, I'm not going to continue to try and stick around the Bastion when, you know, I know that I sort of went crazy, but I made up for it, and I brought back more food, and I didn't take any of it on the way back, and they still decided to lock me up and starve me. So, and again, like I can't get over how long I might have been down there had, you know, the wall not crumbled. I don't know, and I don't know how long I could have. I don't know if you know this about me, but I struggle a little bit. Didn't always used to be that way, but it is what it is, and that was a little bit too close for me, and I don't want to do that. So I can't go back.
Well, you might like where we're going. What was that, sorry?
Are there people?
Oh. Yes, but there's also a whole bunch of vampires who you might actually like. Nothing to do with the Bastion. As far as I'm aware, they actively hate them, so...
Ooh. Okay,
Might
well then
be.
those might be my people, so let's go.
I rather thought that we were your people, but fair enough.
In time, we can
You're-
earn that
you're-
again. Possibly.
Yeah.
All I
I don't
wanted to-
think you can be my people if you're working for the Bastion at this point.
We're just
Oh.
working. No one said we're working for anyone.
No, we're just a group of people to be dealt with. As Morgred put, right? Let's get on the road, shall we? As Axer starts to walk forward.
Oh, that guy's a little sensitive, right?
Stop it. Stop it.
I'm just gonna glare at Morgred as I walk past.
I stay back with Maeve for a second. I don't think I have any trust for those above myself in power in this structure here myself. But in that I see maybe not opportunity. God, if it was opportunity as walking forward. If there's anything that I've learned through time and learning about power dynamics of maybe it's not comparable in different planes, but if there's anything I've learned is that there's always the opportunity for a vacuum, and a vacuum needs to be filled once there's an opening. If there's anything that we might be able to do to kind of flip the situation, and maybe in turn save Hoster from his, seems like a curse on him, under the mother's protection or mother's due, whatever she does, I might want to seize that myself and not take over for in front of everybody, take above everybody. But I'm trying to grow. And
You
this
know,
is-
I appreciate that sentiment. However, I don't give a shit about what does or does not happen to Hoster at this point. So I'm just trying to get to the next checkpoint. And after saying that, Maeve is going to start walking.
Well, I start to flutter up, and I'm gonna let you be in just a moment. But if you decide you want a shot at dismantling an oppressive establishment, I will give you any opportunity I can once I find one. And I flutter up.
Maeve makes note of that.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna walk next to this tall, handsome stranger and be like, "Sir, what's your name?"
Axer.
Nice to meet you. I'm Astrophel.
It's nice to meet you, Astrophel.
We're going to need to work on that ducky pie.
Human smiling.
Uh-huh. Sure. I would like to take out of my bag something that I started whittling a couple of days ago, and would like to think in the downtime that we had, have finished it. It is a small wooden duck. And I just offer it up to AXA, I guess. This is for you.
Why?
Well, it's your birthday. I suppose in more ways than one.
Axer kind of looks at a crumpled little paper hat in their pocket because canonically, I messaged Drew, it is Hoster's birthday, and Hoster's one thing he's allowed is to wear a paper hat, and just kind of like feels it in his pocket. And at the nearest puddle, like while Astrofel's not really looking, just flicks it out of his hand and throws it into there. Holds the little duck. Thank you.
No worries. Now, would you like to practice that very human smile again?
No, but yes.
Okay, so what you want to do is a little less rictus and a little more,
Rick? Who is Rick?
you know what, never mind. And I am going to spend the journey just trying to teach my new friend, how to emote better. Because
You see, Exer, you gotta
That's what
use
I do.
more maxillary.
it's just here.
Who is Max?
God damn it.
Who's Larry?
What am I doing with them? Wait,
Max and Larry? Is that a sitcom?
wait. Don't tell me I want to be surprised.
What do they have for me?
The five of you are moving south. I assume to where you were told to go in Silburn. There hasn't been a concrete plan on which path you're taking, whether it be through the mountains, over the rivers, through normal trade routes. There are multiple options, but currently you are moving south through the Sanguine Oaks. As you get to certain parts, you kind of have to like side skirt because there are drop-offs in large cliffs and plateaus to get off of this. But you're all pretty, at least with Astrophel and with Rias flying up above, you get a pretty good layout of this area as you're able to get yourselves out of the Sanguine Oaks again in a different direction than you had gone to mid-set prior. As you find yourself past the last plateau, you see rolling hills for a while off in the distance. In the rolling hills, you can now actively see way off in the distance, multiple miles away. You can start to see where the shadows cease and the sunlight begins over some more rolling mountains or rolling hills as they go into tall, very smooth tree-covered mountains in the distance.
Feels like it's been so long since I've seen light. Like natural light. Not cast from someone's hand on the ground. Under a
Sunlight.
barrel. Yes.
How long has it been for you?
Oof.
Couple hours.
feels like it's been a few hours, but also feels like it's been millennia. But it has actually been not too long, I admit. How long has it been since we initially set out for mid-set, came back, and we've only been back for a couple days, and then departed again?
I would say from the time that you were turned into fledglings until this point now, it's almost been a solid 2 weeks.
Yeah, only a single fortnight. You gave me that.
Never cared much for the sunlight myself, so I haven't really missed it.
Feels so well. It felt so good on my cheeks. I'm not telling you which ones. Both. So when I would fly around, normally around springtime, where I'm from, it was very spring, very, very primavera and warm and fluttery, and I think I'm going to miss that quite a bit, because I have not seen that in years now. This is a touch back into feeling like it's nostalgic, but it was 2 weeks ago. Fuck. Okay. Say, what's our plan of attack? Are we going mountains? Are we trade routing? Is there a preference anybody has in particular?
Well, if you go trade route, we can keep fed.
Feeding without penalties?
Feeding without penalties.
That feels better. Good.
That one. That route. Mostly for Maeve's sake, not mine.
Honestly, it might be the safest approach, too. I know that the mountains themselves they're always considered a formidable barrier to make your way through, make your way over, under. God forbid you have to go under. But I'm all right with trade routes. That's keeps my palate fed. I had nothing going for that. Yeah, trade routes it is. Who knows them? Because I don't.
And we roll?
Yeah.
Let's see if we know the routes.
Yeah, I would say history. Morgrid and Astrafel, I'm gonna say are at advantage, as most likely you two would have been the ones that would have traveled these trade routes prior to becoming vampires.
Could I roll survival to see like just what looks like sounds the safest area wise?
Absolutely. And Maeve, you could also do a nature, as you have the Sanguine Oaks itself is a higher elevation than the area around it. The Sanguine Oaks is technically a plateau. So towards the base of it, you still are elevated enough to see miles into the distance.
I got an 18 on that.
Okay.
16.
21.
Okay.
9.
15.
I'm going to start with you, Ryas. Ryas, as you're flying in the air, there is a small raven as it comes and smacks into your chest, kind of like, whoa, what the hell just happened kind of vibe. As the rest of you, for Maeve, there
Bird
is...
strike. Bird strike.
Bird strike! Ah!
I'm gonna go land in the river. Is it the Hudson? No.
Maeve, as you look from the base of the plateau of the Sanguine Oaks, you know that there are things, good things. Here we go. I found the things. No, I didn't find the things at all. Nope.
Does the 12 hit the raven?
Actually, yeah, it would.
Bird AC, man.
That's 9 damage from a hand axe.
Here we go. Finally. Maeve, looking off in the distance, following the trade routes would lead you, in a safer path. However, you've been able to look at the natural area around you. You've heard of the names of these woods. There's the Limea Woods, which would be directly in front of you, which kind of goes into the Chios River that comes from the Biohorn Basins. Going over that would get you into the Lyran Woods, and then you would have to not cross the Anastal River, which would be the largest river in the area. That would probably be, in your opinion, not necessarily the safest route. However, it might be the quicker route than going trade route. However, with Morgrid, Astrofel, and Axor, the trade route is going to offer you food, relative safety in the Shadowed Lands. However, it's going to take a little bit longer to get there.
That just means more time for feeding.
You also know Astrofel with, I believe, a 21 you had.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be passing by. You could either choose to pass by mid-set and not go through it, which is where y'all were just were. Then that would take you to Pikespell, down to Rosenton, then finally to Silburn, which was your final destination. There is an alternative route going from Midset to Pikespell to Vinwich to Silburn. However, that would be a much longer route.
We'll take the quicker route that doesn't involve us having to deal with the consequences of our actions just yet.
And I believe in the world info tab in the cast space, there should be images for world map, so you can see the places I just described.
Trying to find exactly where we are on the map.
So you would be the Sanguine Oaks. So that is going to be near the northeast, underneath the Haven Mountains, beneath Waston.
Yeah.
And you're on that southern side, almost due south of the actual bastion itself on the map. So you'd be in the middle of that trade route, a very seldom used trade route, as it goes right through the Bloodright Bastion.
With that quick route comes risks.
Mm-hmm.
Basically.
That's actually hilarious. I really like the idea of just people who are like, well, we gotta. And then they just never return. That's it. Like,
The people,
What? My delivery is going to be late if I don't take this shortcut. We must take this shortcut.
people of
I hate-
Molderby and Waston are just like, we're so isolated.
Hey, this is Uber Eats. Unfortunately, your driver was eaten by vampires, so your food's not gonna make it. Sorry.
Sorry. No refund.
I'm so sorry.
Also, while we're traveling at any opportunity, once it's more practiced, going up to Maeve with like a blood vial is just like awkwardly like thirsty.
Maeve is definitely like gonna be looking at this guy, but like, sure, and like, you know, very questionable, but she's gonna take it, of course.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
The vials you're given are the ones that keep the blood warm and safe. So it is a quite nice experience. Maeve, you yourself have not had a long rest. You are still feeling pretty shitty. You might have most of your hit points back and you might not be hungry anymore, but you're definitely feeling the effects of the torture you endured.
Probably walking kind of slow.
Do you want to stop to rest?
At some point, but we can keep going for now.
Okay.
And unless there's a, you know, unless this is a great place to rest. we can keep going.
Can Axer glean from like Maeve's like general demeanor right now? Does it look like Maeve is gonna start getting like not good hungry of like is this gonna start, if we keep going further, is this gonna start fucking Maeve's day up?
Taking a glance at Maeve, yes. I'll give you the best description. As you look at Maeve, her nose is still like kind of broken to the side slightly. There are scratches and scrapes all along her skin. It's odd. You wouldn't imagine an undead getting bruises and things like that. However, it's a very like deep red underneath the skin in some places, which is abnormal for Maeve, with Maeve being a changeling and having this generally like translucent white skin.
I think once we reach like probably not even that much farther,
I would like to stop to rest. I'm not like all of you. I need sleep. So if I am to be helpful, I will need time, if that is all right.
It's fine by me.
Yes, please.
I will set up a camp site like humans do.
and you know what? I'm gonna roll survival just to see if Okay, 15. Yeah, okay. So like he's been camping a couple times. I think he just kind of like goes and like just like rips a tree like in half or something, and then just kind of starts burning it, and then throws a sleeping bag beside it. Rest well, vampires. It just sinks into the sleeping bag.
Maeve's gonna whisper over to Morgar and be like, where did this guy come from? Like, where did he actually come from? Because he's a little bit weird, right? Like, is he supposed to be our traveling snack or something? Like, what's his deal?
I know we're not supposed to snack on him. I think he's with Rias. I'm not sure how we met him. But yeah, no, he's fine. Don't worry about it.
I think at this point, Maeve is actually going to start to realize that Pastor is not in the party. So I think she's going to start asking about that. Be like, okay, well, is he supposed to be like Hastur's replacement? Like, why is he not here? Why isn't he on this trip with you guys?
You said you wouldn't travel with him.
Yeah, but I'm also trying to leave the Bastion. And aren't you guys doing something for them? You know, I don't understand why I would have been prioritized over him when I'm leaving, and he is a very integral part of that establishment.
He's otherwise occupied. That's all that I know.
Okay, well, I guess as long as he's not here, it's fine. Don't care.
I do want to mention, Maeve. He feels really, really, really bad for what happened. I mean, I'm not one for all of this mushy-gushy emotional stuff between, like, friends, but I can even tell that he is torn up from the inside out about what happened, and I don't think he wants to do that anymore. Anything like that.
I'm not sure if this is more of a forgiveness type of situation or just not being able to feel safe and trusting being around Hoster at the moment. I understand Maeve's side, I think. Am I correct in saying that it's not betrayal, but there's just an unpredictability and an unsafeness to your own well-being.
And I'm trying to think it's all the things, you know. I started to think that, you know, maybe we were all gonna, you know, be friends, and I could find maybe a new group. But you know, I took care of all the friends that I could probably have. So maybe it was wrong of me to assume that the people who took me in after being turned could be that.
So are you saying you don't trust us?
I just don't trust the Bastion, and you guys are still working with them, if not for them. So that's
you
why
don't trust
I
us?
don't.
I would like to be clear
Yeah.
about our situation here, that's all.
I definitely have some concerns. Yes, just well.
That's absolutely fair and valid. I mean, I don't trust you. I've only known you 2 weeks.
That's fair.
The first day we met, I had to talk you down from ripping a man's throat out. Like, I absolutely do not think any of us should be trusting any of us. We've known each other 2 weeks.
And we are vampires. So, yeah. That works. That tracks. I think at this point, Maeve's just gonna, like, plop down on the ground and probably just go to sleep.
Hester, this fire you've made from ripping half a tree and setting it in a blaze, it's rather bright in this dark area. And Maeve, you go to settle down for sleep. What are the four of you doing? Esther Morgred, Rice, and Astrafel.
I think Rias is looking for different components around to see if there's anything he can learn or any more magic he would be able to begin casting. Essentially trying to take the time to learn any new spell he can through trial and error of what's in his environment, whether or not it's successful or not. Anything he can try to do to further that while he's getting ready to do long rest stuff.
I am keeping a very keen eye and ear and nose on all of our surroundings in the forest to make sure that we are not being followed or observed.
Okay. And Hester and Astrafel.
After you.
I think Astrafel is going to go for a little walk, find a suitable distance away from the rest of the group, find a tree, and just start punching it. Which isn't going to end well, because Astrofel's not particularly gifted in the strength department. Probably gonna end up with some broken fingers. It's fine. Everything's fine. Don't phone the fire department.
It's all about the microfractures. It's fine.
Alright.
Astrafel.
It's like Mortal Kombat, the X-ray things, but it's just you every time you hit it. So instead of like the, it's just fuck.
Sorry, I misheard the fractals comment from last time as fractures, and
I love fractures.
The bones do that though after.
yeah,
Start-
just
Ugh.
I'm gonna roll a d4 and see what kind of tree you're punching.
incredible.
It is gonna be an oak.
That's gonna be rough. That's gonna be rough. Would you like a strength check at disadvantage?
I would.
Incredible. Fucking oak, man. It had to be oak.
Out of 4, you got oak.
So I rolled a 5.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a 3.
What are you, Haster, rolling anything for intelligence? Am I right, ladies and gentlemen?
Astrofel, you've made your way. About how far away from the rest of the party would you say you currently are?
How far? Far enough that Morgrid wouldn't notice me or know what I'm doing.
Okay. So I believe Morgrid has 60 feet of dark vision. Beyond that, it is very, very dark here. So I would say you're probably about maybe 100 or so feet away. And there are like dead trees around to kind of block the view of where you are as...
And yet I didn't start punching one of those.
Nope. As you're just unleashing this inner rage or anger that you have, whether it be at the situation or the people you're with, and you're just unleashing this. It's not doing anything, if at all, to the tree. You are feeling this effect on your fist, and with each punch you make, you take 2 bludgeoning damage as you keep going at the tree. How long are you going to be doing this for?
Looking at my hit points, and I'm like, I know exactly how many punches that is. Would I stop before that point? Because it's not that many. I think I probably would stop before it killed me. Thankfully. We'll say a good 6 or 7 punches.
Okay.
I am now below half health, for anyone keeping track. And I am desperately trying to keep myself from screaming. But there is also an element of, this is probably the first time in a good 6 months to a year that I've felt anything. And that's kind of... I think Astrofel's kind of okay with that right now.
You get that last punch in, and you just kind of stop, and you're stopping yourself from letting out this scream as you take a look down at both your fists. They are bloodied, bleeding. You're pretty sure you at least broke part of your ring finger, if not also your pinky as well. As you just kind of...
Not the pinky!
As you kind of just stand there and crunch your fingers, and you feel this pain, this something like you just stated that you hadn't felt in a very long time. You're feeling something, and whether that be a positive for you or a neutral feeling, it's something that's happening to you. Aster, what are you doing?
So during the whole conversation, while everyone was talking about Haster near the campsite, Haster was laying on his side listening, fully awake, conscious for all of it, and digging himself in his sleeping bag. Haster pulls out the picture from the wall of him with all his pals, and on all of them draws angry eyebrows, and then crosses Haster out of the picture. And as he does that, Haster starts to, as the time would wear off, in the quiet, he reverts back to his form, staying as diminutive, as small as he can. Happy birthday to me. It's almost over. That's okay. And a slow tendril reaches out from the sleeping bag and throws the crumpled paper into the fire. And then Oster's head pokes out, and he blows out the candle and retreats to the sleeping bag.
Aster, as you retreat into your sleeping bag, there is a brief but momentary flicker of light from inside your sleeping bag. there's something in there with you. Something that wasn't in there before.
Hoster's gonna check what it was. What's going with the brief flicker of light? There's a.
You move your
Hoster
hand.
wants to say there's only room for one in here, but Hoster doesn't say that.
You move your hand further into the sleeping bag as you pull out a small vial. This vial, as you look at it, was not in the sleeping bag prior. And there's a small little card tied onto the top of this vial. A small little piece of parchment that's been folded.
Hoster's gonna open it.
As you open it, it says, "Happy birthday, dearest." And then there is no signature on the bottom.
Hoster, seeing this, looks and looks at the vial and then looks at the ring and Hoster puts the vial away and just lays there quietly. Hoster doesn't dream. Hoster doesn't really sleep, so he just waits the night out.
Maeve, as you begin to fall asleep, you begin to go back into the dream you were having when you were in the Sanguine Oaks. It starts with nothing except for darkness around you as you feel this warm water start lapping up against your legs, and you start hearing these wave sounds around you. As you kind of put your hands down on the ground next to you and kind of like crunch up the ground, you can feel it. It's very fine sand. You begin to look around again. You're back where you were on this black sand beach with the black waters moving around you. As you take a look off into the distance again, you again see that small bead of red light with something floating around it. It's way off in the water, and there's still that sound of something metallic hitting something else metallic in the distance. As you sit there.
Is this a lucid dream? Like, do I have any sense of control during this, or am I just, looking at what's happening?
You might feel the fact that you're able to sit and grab onto the sand. It's very tactile. You feel it. You can feel the warmth of these waves. You've had dreams before, but you don't recall having a dream like this before, to where it felt so real.
Okay.
So, quite possibly it could be a lucid dream.
Okay. Can I try to look around or get up or anything? Yeah.
Yeah. As you move to get up and you glance around, what is drawing your attention the most? Is it the red bead of light over the water? Is it the sounds of the metallic clanging?
I think it's the sound of the clanking that is I'm definitely interested in what's above the water, but I think right now what's causing that sound.
You glance over at this red bead of light and move your way and look up the beach. As you do, you see this small green flame, almost like a campfire, that sits there. And there appears to be a figure with a hammer smacking down on anvils. Occasionally you'll see small little lights lift off and carry on. This figure appears in a black robe with a cloak over top.
Do I, like, is there any sort of, like, sense of familiarity with this being?
I would say no.
How far away are they at, like, right now from where I am?
Probably a good about 160 feet. They're pretty far up the beach.
Okay, Maeve's gonna start trying to walk that way.
You start moving your way. The sand it's soft, but it's compact as each footstep makes another step. When you move, you can hear the sound of the waves crashing onto the beach. You keep moving your way, the sound of the metallic clangs getting louder and louder. And before you're right in front of this person, around them you see this small campfire. There's an anvil as they're hitting a hammer on it. And occasionally, like I said, you see that little light flicker off. There's 4 benches that have been made out of logs that have been halved, and they're on their own little stand. There's some rocks around. Occasionally you might see a small white crab that skitters across the sand. As the last hammerfall hits the anvil, this figure stops and turns to look at you. They have this fabric over their eyes and a hooded cowl over top. You see this feminine looking person pick up this green orb, look into it, and look up at you. The last words you hear are, "You're not meant to be here. Not yet." As she blows out, there's this cloud and smoke that covers into your face and your eyes. We'll get back to you in a little bit. Mordred, you've been sitting standing watch for the rest of the party. You know there is one person unaccounted for, Astrofel, as Haster and Maeve remain at camp, most likely sleeping. Rias is off reading books. What are you doing?
I think I'm as I'm sitting here kind of just staring out into the darkness, I'm having a lot of thoughts over the past few weeks and having a little bit of an existential moment where it's kind of all setting in that I'm not who I used to be. I'm something else entirely now, and these people are not family, they're not friends. They're the closest things to friends I've ever had. I'm having an issue with what Maeve is going through and what we're doing, and I'm kind of thinking to myself, like, what is the purpose of all of this? Are we just meant to serve as these new creatures that we've become, or is that all that this life is going to be? What is it? We do this task, we take it back to the Bloodright Bastion, and then get sent out on another task. And I'm kind of sitting here and having these thoughts to myself, and I'm really unsure of what the future is going to hold, and I'm really unsure of where my loyalties lie, if anywhere. Yeah.
As you're having these thoughts and you glance around at the group, can you roll me a perception?
$18.
With an 18, you're sitting with these thoughts, and you're also trying to keep a keen eye and ear to any noises or sounds or sights that you see. You stop for a second and you think you see something off in the trees. You glance the other direction, you see it again. You see what appear to be red eyes off in the woods that are staring all in your direction. You finally hear the sound of a twig snap as a figure walking with Astrophel approaches your camp. As they get into more of the light, you can see a wand being held up to the side of Astrophel's head. And that is where we're going to take a break. So, we'll see you back in about 5 minutes or so. So, take it easy, and I'm going to push a button. Look at me go. Oh, goodbye. Hey, wait. Before you go get your snacks, before you go get your drinks, I just want to let you know, we have a giveaway over on the Dicey Encounters Instagram page, and you can win one of 2 sets of dice that are being offered on there, so make sure you go check it out. I'll put the link in chat or in the description for YouTube. But yeah, don't miss out on it. You could win some dice. So look at these dice. They're right here in the top left corner. Ain't that neat? Ooh. Now go, run, get your snacks, the delicious treats that will sustain you. Hello, everybody. We're back. What did you miss? All of it. Let me tell you. You should. I don't know. If you're just
That's my favorite bit. That's my favorite ongoing bit. Is it's just like, oh, what did you miss from over the break? Well, everything. Go rewatch it. I don't fucking care. Just go back. Start the episode over, dickhead. Like that gets me every time that has been. I don't know if it's been intentional, but you've done it every time we've gotten back from break of like, you missed it all. Like
everything.
It's so good. It's so good.
The party reunited with Maeve in the halls of the Bloodright Bastion. Maeve, understandably pissed off, decided to go out. The party got a couple of them got their items back from when they returned. Everybody kind of went to go leave. Haster became a human. Crazy stuff. And the group decided to start making their way down to Silburn, taking the trade routes because more food and better options may take a little bit longer, but hey, that's the deal. Then they found this little campsite that Haster had made in the form of Axor, where he ripped out a tree and started burning it, and then Maeve started having a dream. Astrophel went and broke some fingies. Haster had a really sad birthday time, and Rias is studying, and Morgrid's like, oh my goodness, I see something. And then it comes back to Morgrid looking in the woods and seeing all these little red eyes staring at the direction of the group. Uh-oh, one of them has Astrophel. As we return back into it, Morgrid, this person that appears with Astrophel with the wand holding it to Astrophel's head, very much a black brim, like long, like brimmed witch hat with these little red sigils that run up, very tattered black clothing, and it goes into almost like very robe-like, as you see different like medallions and things hanging from different belts and straps across them. Their face you can't actually see that well, but you do see the glaring red eyes over top as they stand there and look into the group. You also notice Astrophel is now bleeding from the hands and now also from the face.
Okay. Do I recognize their robes or anything on them, or what type of beings they are?
You can roll a history, however, this will be a disadvantage.
History at disadvantage. I'm gonna go for it, because I don't know what's going on. I got a 19 and a 1.
Change that 1 to a 19.
Important.
Yeah.
Yay!
With a 19, this, you don't know entirely too much about this group. You've heard about them. you've heard the name Night Watch. This is a collective group of monster hunters, and they're known to be all around the world of Dòchas. They specialize, I should say, in taking out vampires.
Oh, anyway, I started blasting.
Can I take a shot in the dark what the lead one sounds like?
Yeah.
My brothers of the Night Watch. We're here to slay monsters beyond the wall.
I know some
Okay.
things.
I know 3 things, okay?
Damn it. For a show I've never even watched, I still somehow managed to use names. Great.
You know nothing, Haster. I know. I have a 4 intelligence. Don't point it out.
Okay, I'm gonna do something, but I don't want to do anything stupid.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out. All of this thought in my head is taking place in a matter of a millisecond, okay? Want to preface with that. How close are they to me? How close is the one that has Astrofel?
60 feet.
Just for clarity, how many individuals are there?
When you were ambushed, Astrofel, you noticed 5.
Can I?
Mm-hmm.
Can I go ahead and just fire a little firebolt at the guy that's got Astrofel?
You can. Everybody roll initiative.
Fuck yes.
Haster, you're still awake, correct?
Yeah, Haster don't sleep, so yes.
Maeve. You're still asleep.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
Yeah,
have you
okay.
hold off on initiative real quick as you're still in the dream.
Okay, well, I already rolled it. Am I gonna have to roll it again later?
Just keep that
Okay.
roll that you got. And then just hold on
Okay.
to it. Alright. I got my handy dandy piece of paper. ASMR. Let's go. Alright, do we have 25 to 20?
Oh,
Alright, what is
20.
yours?
20.
Nat 20?
No, dirty 20.
Okay. Alright, we have beautiful. Do we have 22, 15?
Yes.
Alright.
17.
Alright. 15 to 10?
Yes.
Alright, what we got? 10 and
13.
15.
Also 10.
13?
13.
13. Alright, so we, who has the, I would assume, Haster, you have the higher dex.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, +4.
take it. Wink.
Okay, Mordred. Fire off your firebolt.
Oh, it's a 5.
Okay. So as you go to fling this firebolt out of instinct, it shoots off. However, it just whizzes right by. The person that is standing there holding the wand up to Astrofel's head doesn't look phased at all. As you hear this, as you all begin to hear branches moving and snapping around you, all around you. Astrophel, it is your go. You are currently grappled but not fully restrained.
Can one of my hands reach a little component pouch?
I would say so.
Incredible. I'm gonna shove my hand in, find the one thing that I need, which is a thumbtack. And then I am going to jab it into my thumb and cast Trick or Treat. I am going to choose 3 creatures within range, so the guy who's got a 1 to my head, and then another 2 dickheads that I can see that aren't my friends. And they must immediately make charisma saving throws.
Okay. And what is the save?
The save is a 14.
The 2 on the outside have failed. The one that is holding you rolled an 18 plus 2, so a dirty 20.
Fine. The 2 that failed must roll a d4 and subtract that number rolled from the next attack roll or from the next saving throw they make.
So for one of them, it will be a 1, and for the other, it will be a 4.
Man, really set fucking extremes there. Hey? Yeah.
All right.
Beautiful. And then I'm going to use my bonus action to shit my pants. No, I'm kidding. I will... This is a long shot. Because I don't know if the person that I am talking to understands this language.
Okay.
But I'm going to say in Infernal, "Dear heart, I need you." And Hasta has inspiration, which is a d6.
Perfect.
Noted.
And then I'm gonna stay still, because this guy's got fucking 1 to my head. I guess. Jeez.
The next one is going to be the actual group itself around you. Haster, you're on deck, and that is a yes to your question, by the way. And we will get there when we get there.
Yeah, no stress, no pressure. I was just curious.
I like it. From behind one of them, you can hear this incantation going as daylight has been cast into the middle of this. It seems to be on the actual log that's on fire, as daylight erupts around all of you, and you're all coated. Another one goes to do a firebolt back at you, Morgrid, with a 13. Does a 13 hit? Let's see. I don't believe. What is your AC, Morgrid?
15.
15, so it misses as it by you. Another one goes to make an attack at you, Rias. And I'm gonna need you to make a save real quick. Give me 1 second to bring this back up. Good old internet, gotta love it. There we go. All right. Actually, should be good. My apologies on that.
No worries.
Boop, boop, boop. Okay, perfect. So you see them move their hand as they flick it out. You see this beam of white light streak from their finger at you. However, that is only going to be a 11 to hit.
Only 11. It hits.
Okay.
Wizard.
All right.
Where's the mage armor, man? Where's the mage armor?
It's prepared, at least.
All right. Oh dear. That's gonna be 13 radiant damage as this beam of white light slams into your chest. Now giving advantage to the next person that attacks you. With the last one over there, they glance over to you again, Morgrid, as they are going to also do another attack. Thinking about it. Thinking. Internet's awfully slow today. All right. Morgrid, can you make me a dexterity saving throw?
Sure can. In, a few moments here.
That's all good.
All right. I am dexterous. I am lithe. Nat 20, bitch. Plus 4.
All right. They go to, you see this like white flame form around your feet as you move out of the way very quickly, as where you were standing is immediately engulfed in this radiant light and flame. All right, Haster, you have this potion you were just given.
Yeah, Haster's gonna swig that bad boy if I can do that like prior to turn. If what?
It is a bonus action as well to do that, so
It'll
it's not a full action.
Do I feel like this is a thing that would benefit me in this moment as I'm looking at it, or could I save it?
Honestly, both. You kind of look at it and you're like, well, if it just poofed into my bag, it might be useful for something.
Haster's gonna save it then for now, as Axer is gonna step out of the sleeping bag, and he's gonna give a good look around.
So there are 4 surrounding you currently. Each of them are realistically probably about 40-ish to 50 feet away. However, there is the one that is 60 feet away with the one up to Astrophil. So
there's 5?
There are 5.
Okay. Axer's gonna turn to one of them. You lot of the Night Watch.
You don't get a response from the 4, however, the one with the wand. And what would a human be doing with the vampires?
For once, they're best. As his arms start to elongate and grow, they grow long talons. As I'd like to rage, and this time I'm bestial raging. As Haster, I'm not gonna go for the main guy. I'm gonna make him watch. I'm gonna take my 3 attacks, and I'm gonna go down the line on each of these guys. Haster runs at the first one, and I'm gonna attack recklessly, because I can do that.
I like it.
I'm assuming that doesn't hit, but it's fine because it's reckless. Oh my gosh, both brutal. Does an 11 hit?
An 11 unfortunately does not hit.
That's fine. I'm gonna take another one. Come on. Unnatural 20. Unnatural 20. So for this fella, he takes Ooh, that's 13 slashing damage.
13. All right.
Is he still standing?
Yes.
Cool. Then, oh, I could make a little choice here. Do I want to do this or do I want to? No, Haster's had a bad day. Haster's going to turn to Buddy, and then fangs are gonna appear, and then I'm gonna try and bite this dude recklessly. 23 or not critting today, but still, does a 23 hit this guy?
23 does hit.
Cool. Roll some bite dice.
Rice, you're on deck next, and then Maeve, you'll be coming in round 2.
I think it's. Yeah, that's what that would be for now.
Is Maeve actually like waking up during all of this?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
That is 16 more damage. Is this guy still standing?
Yes.
Fuck. That's fine. But yeah, Hoster takes a big ol' bite into this person's throat, or Axer does, rather, sorry.
Are you attempting to drink any of the blood?
No, because don't need to. Just wanted to sink my TVs in and just trying to rip them apart.
He definitely looks hurt, I can tell you that much. But still standing. Is that everything for you?
Yeah, that's me.
Rias.
I have a question about Sanctuary. So the wording in the spell says you ward a creature within range against attack until the spell ends. Any creature who targets the warded creature with an attack or a harmful spell must first make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature must choose a new target or lose the attack or spell. The spell doesn't protect the warded creature from area effects. I guess it's not really as much of a question as I was thinking it was going to be. I was going to be asking, would it help at all with any of the grapple, or if would I know if Astrofel tried to break the grapple, would that break the Sanctuary? Because if the warded creature makes an attack,
it
casts a
wouldn't.
spell. Okay.
If it's a simple break of the grapple, it will not go against Sanctuary, and the person with the wand would still actively have to make a wisdom saving throw if they are to attack Astrofel. Sanctuary would end if Astrofel does make any attacks towards any of the enemies.
Perfect. So, and this person didn't go yet, did they? Or was it with the full group?
They were actually right after Morgrid. It appears all they did was give out the whistle.
All right. So Morgrid. Okay. Cool. I am going to with learning rope trick. I just snap my fingers. It drops down into my hands, and I get up. I'm like, okay, I'm hurt. I'm not happy. I cast Sanctuary on Astrophone. No, actually, I'm gonna fly within 30 feet because it's a 30-foot range. And I am then going to on the one that got essentially started to get jumped by Axer. I'm going to cast Toll the Dead, so he has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Perfect. And Morgrid, you are on deck next, so you'll be the next one going. That is only going to be a 11.
Cool, that is a fail. It's a 1d12 because he's taking damage. First time I've rolled my cool pipped d12. That's way too big. It's not gonna fucking focus. That's the word. The word fuck came into my mind before.
Focus.
It's gonna fuck us. It's gonna fuck him. I rolled 12 on that. That is.
How would you
so
like
rad.
to take out this enemy?
I invoke a rune on my staff when I cast the Sanctuary. The tip of it starts to light up at the end, and then the rune burns off for the day. And in one foul swoop, I as I'm flying over towards Astrofel, swing my staff like I'm hitting a bell, and it reverberates in the air as I stare down the person that had been, like I said, beaten down by Axer, and I say, "It's time to stay dead, you fuck." And he starts looking crazed because he hasn't had a chance to actually put off his abilities in an area where he feels like there's at least a fight that he can take on. So
I love it.
He's now
Human smile.
fairy smile. It's not a normal fairy smile. Also, I will say, with flying up into the air, I'm probably about 15 feet off the ground at this point.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Morgrid, you are up next.
All right, so how close are the remaining
So there are 3 that are about 40 feet away from you, and then the one holding Astrofel, which is still 60 feet away from all of you.
so 40 to 60 feet.
Mhm.
Okay. Sorry, that changes what I was gonna do.
No worries. Everything is on the fly with D&D. Make sure you tune in to D&D Beyond, where we do Beyond things. Unless we don't like D&D Beyond, and then we say, no, no, no.
Get out of here, old man! What are you doing? There's a fight happening. There's fire and explosive sounds.
I'm so sorry. Oh, God. I better get out
Stay
of
a
here.
while and listen.
No, there's 2 of them. Oh, get them out of here. They're too old.
No, they should stay. We'll need something to eat afterwards.
Wait, what?
You guys are really vampires?
Okay, so I have decided
What have we decided?
I am going to cast Thaumaturgy
Okay.
as far away as I can, kind of like close to where they are, so I can do up to 30 feet.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do it at 30 feet, but so parallel to where they are, but somewhere else in the woods. And I'm going to make it sound like there's gonna be a low guttural growl and like a howl, like there's a werewolf over there.
Ooh, okay. Roll me a performance.
Werewolf. Werewolf.
That's the sound.
That's the sound of a man working on his
So
thing.
14 plus 2 is 16.
16. All right.
Make 'em believe in the werewolf in the distance.
Surprisingly, all but the one still holding Astrofel, their attention is drawn closer into the woods that way. So, if you go to attack Morgrin, just know it will be at advantage as they are distracted, and that does allow you to do sneak attack.
Would it be a good opportunity to use a bonus action?
You can use
Or
a bonus
no?
action. As Thaumaturgy is going to be your action currently, you could use a bonus action to hide, disengage,
Yeah, that's.
dash.
I was gonna use my bonus action to hide.
Perfect. You get over, and there's like this little bush, and you're like, I am hidden. And you do now have some cover as you've hidden in the eyes of these other 3 are no longer on you, Morgrid. It is now the person with the wand up against Astrofel's head. Did you choose this life?
Is he asking me?
Mm-hmm.
No. I was not given a choice.
And who is it you work for?
Right now, I'm just trying to survive.
Did you hear another whistle that comes out? The other three are going to slightly move off and away from the group. Not very far, about 5-10 feet. So now you're looking at about 45 to 50 feet away from the rest of the party, and they seem to be spreading out more. It is now your turn, Asterfell.
Unsurprisingly, I am not built for combat.
However, you are under sanctuary at the moment. Just to be make that known again.
True. I'm surprised my autonomy makes a difference. I thought you considered a monster to be a monster.
Maybe. Maybe I could be convinced otherwise. But by the looks of the others... Immediately eyeing over to Axor's way, who just, Axor and Rias just ruthlessly killed this one person. Says, doesn't appear all of you are.
You'd be surprised what people will do for the people they love. And you do have a wand against my head.
It's at this moment, you're still in this grapple, but kind of like just gently takes one step back. Not another word is said.
I'm going to consider that my action. For my bonus action, I am going to catch Rias's eye and just give him a wink. And you are also inspired.
Take that.
Inspiration.
It's a D6 right now, or is
It is a D6, yes.
The other three, it is their turn. Maeve, you'll be on deck next. The other three, having lost sight of Morgrid, now focusing solely on Rias and Axor. Let's see. Axor, can you make me a dexterity saving throw?
Is it something I can see?
Yes.
Sweet. That's an advantage, baby.
Are you still at reckless? Well, it doesn't matter. But
yes, if they take. That is a 19.
You almost had this sixth sense about you as you see this white flame starting to grow underneath your feet as you move out of the way, and the spot you were just standing is again engulfed in this radiant fire. However, there is still daylight being cast around the group, just to make everyone aware. As you kind of move out of the way, another one comes with another attack your way, Axor. My apologies on that. And that is going to be a dirty 20 to hit.
That hits.
As you again watch their finger point out in your direction, you see this white beam shoot out. That's going to be 19 radiant damage as it slams into you. You're engulfed in this white light now. The last one looks over in your direction, Rias. Can you make me a dex save?
Can make a dex save. That is a 15.
15. Just like Haster, you have, like, in this frenzied state you're in, you have almost the sixth sense as you begin to see this white flame lifting up off the ground, and you move out of the way as it engulfs the area you were just standing. Maeve, it is your go.
So is Maeve like just waking up from this? So, what, I guess, what can she see? Like, what is...
So as you kind of like sit up from your bag and looking around, you notice there is a somewhat obscured figure with a large wide brim witch's hat with like robes and things, and you see there are 3 others standing, each of them in a specific like pose, getting ready to do more magics. The one that you see is holding the wand up against Astrofel's head, about 60 feet away from you. You can see both Rias and Haster have taken some damage. However, you look around and don't see Mordred.
Okay. So it's pretty obvious that this group of people are, like, they're attacking us, right?
Yes.
Okay. So are they all within, like, a 10-footish circle, like, sphere of each other?
I would say no. They're probably around either 15 to 20 feet away from each other, with the exception of the one holding Astrofel, which is a visible, like, at least minimum of 60, 70 feet away from the other 3.
Okay.
And then Haster, you're on deck next.
So how far away is the one that's holding Astrophil right now?
From you, currently
from me?
about 60 feet.
Okay. So I am going to cast Wither and Bloom. But I'm going to center it, if it's possible at all to get multiple, like, that's what I would want to do, but I think I'm going to prioritize one that has Astrophel, because once I cast it, obviously, like, the bad guy is going to have to make a Constitution save.
Okay.
And then, in addition, Astrophel can spend and roll one of their unspent hit dice if they have any, and then regain that number of hit points.
Okay. So I'll roll a Constitution for them.
Okay.
And that's going to be a flat 13.
Oh, that fails. So they take 8 damage.
8. All right.
It is necrotic damage.
Okay. Noted.
And that is it.
Aster.
Unless Astrophel has the unspent hit dice.
If you wanted to use that Astrophel, you are more than welcome to. Figured as much.
I'm dying. We didn't even roll damage for when they beat the shit out of me, and I was already not doing good.
Yeah.
So
yeah, so you'll get that hit dice plus 4.
incredible. What's my hit dice?
It should be a D8.
Yeah. The brain was just like, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. All right.
I'm gonna drink this thing I got. What happens? Sweet GM.
Hester, as you pop the cork open and drink this down as your bonus action, you start feeling the sinew and muscles thereof begin to gain some strength to yourself. You're feeling more powerful. You're feeling the muscles tighten and contract as you've just drank a miniature potion of Hill Giant Strength. This will give you a 21 strength for 30 minutes.
Oh, that doesn't change my modifier. Dang. But that's okay. That's still cool.
Noted. Any chance it's Hill Giant's constitution? No. I'm gonna start ripping apart this next fella.
Okay.
Just to run to the next one.
And Riot, you're on deck next.
Recklessly attacking. I'm gonna assume a 24 hits.
Absolutely.
Okay, that is 9 slashing damage. Is he still standing?
Yes.
Then nope. Okay, that's 22.
Hits.
That is 10 slashing damage. Is he still standing?
Yes.
Damn it. That is, yeah, that's it for me.
All right, Rias, you've watched as the muscles on Axor have kind of like bulged out just a little bit more, and just went in ripping and shredding and tearing. There's still the entity that has Astrofel, and there are 2 others around you.
How close are the others that are around me? Because I am off the ground at the moment.
I'd say they're
about
both.
15 feet.
So all 3 would probably be within a 30 to 35 foot zone around you. It's almost very horseshoe styled on how they're like surrounding the group.
Cool. I am.
And then Morgrid, you're on deck.
I think. I don't think I have any good bonus actions at this moment. I actually will. I'm gonna use one of those cool little items that we had picked up. Something called a Crimson Amplifier.
Okay.
Bonus action, I can push my finger into the needle at the top of this pendant, and it drains a single drop of blood into the pendant, deals 1 piercing damage to me, so I'll note that. I'm down to 10.
Also note the amount of times you use this as well, please. So
Cool,
that is going to be 1.
Will do. I'm going to actually note that right now before I finish talking.
In perpetuity.
Crimson Amp. 1 use. Okay. That is noted. With that, since it's bonus action, it's going to help me do some damage. I'm going to cast Ice Knife at I almost said Haster because I messed that. Axer. Is Axer essentially next to one of them at the moment?
Correct. Within 5 feet.
Okay, that's probably dangerous to do it that way. We'll probably take him down anyways. I am going to instead, I think I'm going to cast Ice Knife over at not the one that is holding Astrofel, but the one that is alone, since there's the 3 left right now, right?
Correct. There's 1 with Haster, 2 by themselves, and 1 with Astrofel.
Cool. Okay. It will be. Let's see. Oh, I love my spells. I see. Okay, I'm gonna try to attack that boy.
All right. And one thing to mention to do, keep rolling as you're doing that. I need to take a look at something while you do that.
I'm also gonna be looking at something. So I rolled a 21 to hit with my ice knife. If it's going to hit.
So do keep in mind you are currently in sunlight, and this will be at disadvantage.
Thank you for that. I did not keep that. That was a better roll, so I'm gonna keep. Thank you. Thank you for the reminder. As advantage, the dice are like, we got you, bro. Cool. That was actually so much more relieving. I was so worried for a second. So that's going to be for Ice Knife. I have to bounce back and forth between the spell and the Crimson Amplifier. Ice Knife itself will do 1d10 piercing damage, and then is going to explode to do 2d6 cold damage each. On top of that, the Crimson Amplifier will add 3d4 extra damage to that. Would it be just to the...
It would just be to the original hit.
Okay. So let's get these d4 going. I have so many d4 to roll. It's also 1d10 and 2d6.
And you are attacking the one with Hastur or the one by itself?
The one by itself.
Okay.
I don't want Hastur to get hit by this.
I'll just pull a Drax. It's fine, I can take it.
24 cold damage.
What does it look like as you stab your thumb into this Crimson Amplifier? You watch as a single drop of blood drops into it, and you see it radiate this almost like orangish energy that pulses down through your arm into your wand. What does this look like as you take this person out?
Normally, Ice Knife will be just forming the ice out of the moisture in the air, but the blood that drips down, it pulls in the energy from this. The ice itself becomes a translucent crimson as this spike starts to rotate and form and sharpen at the tip of the staff. It launches out, pierces into this being's chest directly in the center, almost hitting the heart right on. As it rotates, spins through as it stops. That explosion of ice, it pierces out, and his blood, as it pops through his limbs, freezes in that explosion of that about
metal
5-foot range. So he has this spiky, frozen, bloody explosion chest that's
very much a Sub-Zero fatality.
Fatality.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. Anything else you'd like to do? Bonus actions, anything?
That was it. The tiny drop is the
as the bonus action. Perfect.
I fly up 30 feet.
Okay. So that puts you 45 feet in the air, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Morgrid, it is your go. You are hiding in the bush.
Okay, so from my hiding position, there's 2 people left, right?
There are 2 off, so one with Hastur, one with Astrafel, and then one final person on the perimeter. So there are 3 total left.
And how distant are they now?
So the one with Hastur, you're probably looking within 25 feet. The one by itself, you're looking at about 40 feet away. And the one with Astrafel, you're looking at about 60 feet. So about 20, 40, and 60.
Okay. So I'm going to throw my Bloodsworn dagger, my melee weapon, at the person that has Hoster.
Okay.
And I want to cast Searing Smite.
Okay. So this is an interesting one. So you're in daylight, so it's at disadvantage. However, he's with Hastur, which is at advantage, right? And so that kind of negates itself out. However, you're also hiding, which brings it back to advantage. So you can do a sneak attack on this as well. So you have Searing Smite, you have sneak attack, and you also get to do the normal attack.
Smite his ass!
So do your 2 hit at advantage. So you're ranged to throw. I should say it next to your dagger.
Okay, so and this is at advantage, right?
Yes.
To hit with the dagger.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got 12 and I've got a 3, but 12 plus 6 is 18.
18 absolutely hits. All right, so now you're gonna roll the dagger's damage, which I believe is 1d4 plus 4 for you, and then Searing Smite is also going to give you some bonuses, I believe, from what I remember. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's 2 extra d6.
I believe so at our level.
Let's see. Searing Smite. Taking a gander.
2d6 and then 1d6 damage at the start of each of the target's turns until the spell ends.
Okay, so you're gonna roll a d4 plus 4, and then 3d6.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a con save at the beginning of each of their turns.
So
because they're on fire.
Yep.
And
Okay,
they
so I
have to
rolled a
make
4 plus 4,
So 8 so
so
far.
8. And then you said 3d6?
2d6 at the start, and I'm gonna go ahead and roll a con save. They failed the first con save, so they're also gonna take another d4 of necrotic damage from your dagger. And then also we have to add in your sneak attack damage. Rogues are ridiculous.
Okay, so Jesus. So do I roll another d4 again?
Yep. Roll one more d4.
All right, so that was a 3.
All right, so 8, so 11 so far, 11 damage, 3 of which is necrotic
Okay, and then 2d6
for fire. Yep.
for fire damage. So I got a 2 and a 6, so that's 8.
Perfect. And then your sneak attack damage, which is going to be an additional 2d6.
All right. 5 and a 5, 10.
What does this look like as you yeet this dagger at this person Hoster's like been clawing away at?
Oh, okay. All anybody sees is like a of this like flaming dagger flying out of a bush. In the blink of an eye, it hits the target, and this guy bursts into flames that are like, it looks like crispy crumbling embers, and he's like ah.
Incredible. Just jeez. All right. So that now brings it to the main one. Astrofel, you've had this one pushed up against your temple for what seems like forever, as you immediately feel that pressure release, and you just hear a as the person disappears from next to you, and you're not exactly sure where they've gone. It is now your turn, Astrofel.
I feel like magic.
It did.
But it was gonna turn out to actually be a vampire, and that would have been like the ultimate like fucking dick move. Cool. I'm gonna kind of like put my hands on my thighs like an old man who's just gone up the stairs a little bit too quickly. But cool,
How are your
boy.
hands feeling as you do that?
It's not good. There's a series of unhealthy crunches, and I just kind of look down where they're still bleeding, and I'm like, that's a problem for later. That is not a right now problem. Yeah, can I look around to see if I can see where this fucker's gone?
Yes. Roll a
Fabulous.
perception.
That's a 19.
They are precisely 30 feet behind you, away from everyone, so they're currently 90 feet away from the rest of the group.
I'm going to look at them, kind of tilt my head slightly.
I want to note really quick. I had to fly 30 feet around 30 feet away from them to cast Sanctuary. So would I be 60 feet away?
Correct.
Cool. Good.
Knowing some spell limitations. Yes.
Yosh.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of. I'm gonna watch to see what they do next.
Okay.
Whilst also kind of being in a lot of pain and going, oh, objectively stupid ideas today. Okay. It's fine. Fine. Breathe through the pain. Breathe through the pain.
The last one, as it looks to the 5 of you, you see it kind of move. You see its hand wave as the daylight disappears. And you see them draw up their hands to do this motion, about to cast another spell. Let's see. There is this horrible, like, howling wind that comes from behind them into all of you. All of you are currently, let's see. My mistake, a little retcon. They've actually moved closer in towards the party, so they're about 10 feet away from Aster and... I'm gonna say it's just Aster, because Maeve, did you get out of the sleeping bag as of yet? All right. So yeah, Aster, you feel this 20-mile-an-hour wind that blows around you, and it's this horrible, like, howling noise. You're currently deafened. The flame on the tree has gone out, and it is currently difficult terrain, and that is what they're doing. So they're just holding this, like, sphere of wind around themselves with you in it. It is now Maeve's go. After that, it's going to be you, Aster.
So I'm not stuck in that.
Mm-mm.
Cool. Are the other people, are they within 10 feet of each other at this point?
There's only one person left, other than the one that was with Astrofel, and they're currently about 90 feet away from you.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I think I'm just gonna try Wither and Bloom again, but center it on that other guy.
Okay, perfect. And that's a save for them, correct?
Yeah, it's a con save.
They failed that. Let me roll another con save for concentration. That's another fail too. As you cast this spell, Aster, the wind around you begins to dissipate.
And that was 9 necrotic damage.
Oof. Alright, they are still standing. And they are still there. Anything else you'd like to do?
Nah, I think that's it.
Alright. Aster.
Same old thing, same old song. Aster's gonna run up to him and just start bonking. Recklessly, of course.
So this will currently be at advantage, as there's no daylight to...
Okay. 26.
Hits.
Hata. That is 12 slashing damage.
Alright.
Still standing?
I believe they are. Give me 2 seconds just to determine. Boop, 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 boop. They are still currently standing.
Then another one.
Another.
Nope. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna Question: do you do inspo rerolls at advantage or just one flat reroll? That's a 1 and a 2. Oh wait.
If you use an inspo on any roll, if it's at advantage, then yeah, your inspo will be at advantage.
9 won't hit, but what's that bardic inspo at?
It's a D6.
D6.
D6. Feel like, you know, I'm gonna use the bardic inspo and then see, and then I'll use inspo if I need to re-roll the whole roll. Oh, I rolled 2 of them by accident. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna use an inspo because that's not gonna cut it. Oh my gosh, another 2 and another 1. Holy! D&D Beyond hates me. Oh my gosh. That's
today.
Yeah, no. That's 13 total.
Can I also give my bless that I've had from last game?
So, would love to. However, bless are for specific characters given by chat, so that will be stuck to you.
Okay.
So 13 does not hit, I take it?
13 will not hit.
Well, I still have a bonus action attack, so I'm gonna attack. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bite. Oh my god, that is another 1. But I shit you not. That is 2 natural 1s on advantage. That is okay in history right now. That is in one turn. Yeah, I've rolled 1, 2. I've rolled 4 natural 1s in 1 turn.
Just to throw that there, when this streams, chat's gonna love you and probably give you something.
Yeah, I'm like D&D Beyond hates me. I'm not gonna reroll anything. I'm just gonna grab like a physical die. Maybe this is a valuable lesson. I just want to see. That's a 17 on that, but anyway, that's fine. It's fine. You know what? I used an inspo once this turn. It can't get much worse if I do it again, right?
Well, do you want one as a gift? From a flying guy above?
Hey, you know what? I'll take one as a gift. I'll take a little thank you. Let's see.
The guy above me.
A little meatball? A little delicious meatball?
Delicious.
That's a 13 or that's another fucking that one! How? Oh my god! That is impressive. So I'm assuming a 13 does not hit.
Still does not hit.
Oh my god. That is 5 natural 1s in 1 turn. That's gotta be a record, baby. And I can't even say it's made up. That's D&D Beyond.
Just a little hint of Aaron Hansen in that reaction as well.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, just a little touch of it, you know? Oh my god. That is brutal. Yeah, I guess I just sit there. Dang. That's my turn.
You're Rise. What you doing? What you doing up there so high in the air?
I'm gonna try to get as close to 30 feet away from that fool as I can. I think I gotta just look down and go, huh? No, okay. And then I cast Witch Bolt. So it's at 2nd level.
Okay.
Let's roll to hit. I got your 20 that you wanted to roll so bad.
Son of a bitch.
What's the point in...
Yeah, hit.
I don't... whenever I play spellcasters, I don't normally do a lot of spell attacks. It's mostly area effect or saves. Crits double damage die for spells too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's what I was thinking. 40, 12. Oh, 2nd level. I love you.
It would've been cool to crit once, you know?
Hey,
Of
it's
all
bulletproof
the
once.
the three attacks that I have on a turn, if more than one hit, that would have been really something. I can't believe rolling 1, 2 back to back and then rolling another one. Oh my god. Heinous.
I rolled on the 4 d12s that I'm supposed to roll here. 10, 11, 10, and 3. So that's a fun 34 damage, lightning damage that is going to be on him, and I'll reroll future turns.
There's no shot this dude. Yeah, I was gonna say there's no guy to be damage re-rolled on.
I'm going to keep it up.
Ryas, how do you end this guy? I mean, fuck.
I'm kind of like feral. I was feral for a moment when the blood prick happened, and I was like, blood. I look back down and I see the swing in this guy like Matrix style, like, dodge out of that last, and that stupor I have of, I don't think I've ever seen somebody dodge that much in one swing. So I swoop down. Staff is. I feel like I'm like swinging down, like I'm going to jab it into him, like a Legend of Zelda 2 Link down stab thing. I'm still like 30 feet away from him, and I stop as like the bolt goes boom. It's like I hit nothing, and the bolt comes out falling with my momentum, and it like burns. I think it burns a path down his neck, down his spine, maybe even a little hole in the back of his hat if it hits, and then it just crackles in like a big Tesla coil right at the base of his spine, right where that tailbone is, and oh man, that nervous system is never able to recover, and nothing else is able to either, because he's zappy.
He's zapped. This is a zapped guy. Mordred,
Shocking, isn't it?
there is one person left, 90 feet away.
90 feet.
And I will say your dagger is still embedded in the one you threw it at earlier.
Okay,
your
well,
magical dagger, I should say.
I can cast Firebolt up to 120 feet, so that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Roll to hit on that one.
May I use an inspiration?
You may.
But much better. Dirty 20.
That will hit.
Ooh. 1d10 fire damage.
1d10 fire damage.
So, got 10.
All right. You launch this firebolt at this person, and it pops them in the shoulder as they stand there and stare. Astrophel, you've been standing there watching this person. They appeared to be leaving and not engaging in this fight. However, once finally getting hit by this firebolt, you see their arm like move back, and as it does, it brings the wand back around and points it towards your direction, unleashing a fireball. You see this red beam of light as it crashes in over by Astrophel.
I was gonna try and react, but the reaction that I have wouldn't work for this anyway, so I guess I'm just gonna die.
It is going to be a dexterity saving throw.
Guess I'm just gonna die.
Is there any way, like, because Hoster's a tanky boy, like, unless Astrophel's gonna kick ass in the dex save, but is there any way even on top of that, like, I was gonna say, can, like, any way of tuck and rolling or anything, like, to to assist, Astrofel not getting turned to
I
ash?
mean, you're a way away from me, so that's gonna be a hell of a tuck and roll.
I haven't used any of my movement though.
This is true. However, the order of initiative will not allow it.
What if it did? What if after rolling 5 natural ones, I would like to be thrown a fucking bone?
I would love to say that I am a yes and DM, but in this situation,
Hey, Hasta. Hey, Hasta.
Hey,
I'll throw you a bone.
nice.
final words of Astrofel.
I'll throw you a bone as a charred dick flies across.
Is this fireball hitting? It's a 20-foot radius, so it's essentially going to be a 40-foot span. Who is it? If it's going to be targeted at Astrofel, is it just Astrofel it's going to be targeted?
Astrofel,
Sure, it's just me.
you are about 30 feet away from Haster. You are about 25 from Maeve. Or, I'm sorry, no. You're full 60 away from everybody. So, yeah, it is just going to be Astrofel.
Okay, I also will say I'm down closer to the ground. I don't know if I flew further away to get closer to the one that I had witch bolted, so I might be within 30 to 45 feet, maybe. Definitely, like maybe 20 to 30 feet off the ground.
True. Just fuck me up. Come on. 21 deck save. Fuck me up.
21 deck save.
I at least don't feel bad because Sanctuary would not help you here.
Yeah, right. I was like, wait, I've got silvery bobs. That doesn't help in this situation either. Fuck. It's alright.
You
Hit
are
me up with that damage.
You are only taking at half. You are only taking 15 fire damage.
I'm still up. One hit point.
As you see this fireball cast your way, the fire erupts near you, but not directly. You may, Astrofel, can you roll an insight?
Gonna insight check that fireball like you wouldn't fucking believe, y'all.
You see, these fireballs lying to you.
It's full of shit. He's not even a fireball. Fuck. He's just
It's
plasma.
nothing-
Jesus.
Nothing but a firebolt.
That's a 12.
I'm gonna insight check the bam 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 bam.
With a 12, you know that fireball was not directly cast on you. Whether that was intentional or not, you're unsure. But you know for a fact it wasn't cast directly on you. As you all watch as this person raises up a pendant up to their mouth, and you watch their form as it disappears. You are all out of initiative. Yes.
I would like to use my action to collapse to the fucking ground with my one hit point. Just like, oh, I'm crispy.
Some of your hair is very much singed.
No, I burned it all off. Oh no! No.
For our Spotify listeners, Rin has recently shaved their head.
I got the pencil earlier and I went to put it in my bun.
Oh,
Phantom buns.
phantom bun.
Phantom buns.
But yes, you are all out of initiative as Astrofel collapses to the floor. The fire is currently out.
Maiden's still in the sleeping bag thing, but can I
Back to sleep, yeah.
roll to see if she gets a whiff of the blood that might be available, like from the bodies?
Yeah. I'd say so.
Up for the snacks, but not the combat, huh?
I was helping.
Honestly, I can't blame the priorities. That's pretty good.
Roll me a nature.
Oh, that's a dirty 20.
With a dirty 20, you do smell that, like, irony, almost metallic smell in the air.
So, as Maeve was about to like settle back down and go back to sleep, she closes her eyes, but then immediately like her eyes just like open with like the hunger, and she sprints out of the sleeping bag to the nearest source.
And are you gonna feed?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Cool. Make me a Constitution save.
Knew it.
Fun stuff. $11.
As you bite into wherever it is you're biting on the body, and the blood starts to enter, you feel it's almost corrosive. It's burning as it's entering in. This blood has been tainted in some way.
Well, I'm obviously gonna back the fuck up real fast.
You're
I'm gonna be like, don't
going
drink
to
it.
take, let's see, that's going to be 11 acid damage.
Yes.
As you pull back, it's almost as if like your mouth itself is letting out like this smoke and steam. Like eating a really hot tamale.
I think at this point, Maeve has snapped out of it and is gonna just go back to bed.
Meanwhile,
she doesn't feel great.
Astrofel is lying on the ground about 60 feet away from all of you. What are the other three of you doing?
Fluttering over.
I think walk over, grab Astrofel basically by like almost the scruff like kind of thing, just like pick them up one arm.
Oh, by the belt might be better. It's a more balanced weight.
There's just a slow.
I have a belt.
There's just a slow look up at Rias, and then goes back, walks, and just like basically like, just almost like a what's the analogy I want to use here? Like throwing a ping pong ball into a sock, just into the sleeping bag. Astrofel goes. And then I think Axer just like sits down on the ground, spits some blood out. It's like immediately as it hits the ground turns this inky color, and then just like starts trying to relight the fire.
Morgred steps out from behind the bushes that she was fighting from. Oh, hey, yes, I'm still here, everyone. I walk over to the fallen person that my dagger was embedded in, and I take out the blood-sworn dagger, and I see the blood, like, glistening on it, and I'm about to, like, lick it off like cookie batter, but then I look over at Maeve, whose mouth is, like, still smoking, and I think about it, and I just, like, wipe it off and stick it back in my belt.
As you stick it back into your belt, Morgred, you hear this sort of faint noise that didn't want to do it currently.
What noise was that?
It's very much like a hushed, like almost breath inside your head as you put the dagger. Very much phasmophobia. Very much phasmophobia style as you place the dagger back in. It's just this like unnerving noise in your head. No one else really seemed to notice.
Did anyone just hear that sound? What was that? No one else heard it? Okay.
Well, it might have been the wind. I did hear a wind go. Well, I can't do it because of, Discord. That's outside of game. But it's like a wind sound I heard in the trees, and there was some rustling, actually. I turn around, and, like, the tree I'm pointing at, it has a little sway to it. It might be wind. I hear wind.
What did you hear?
I'm looking at my dagger and I'm looking back at the person I drew the dagger out of, and I'm like, I'm not really sure where that came from. It sounded like a breath, a fast breath in my ear.
Your dagger draws blood, and it seems their blood is tainted. So, could be the spell or something wearing off, but I wouldn't recommend trying.
The rest of you are kind of... Maeve, you're in your bag, you're nestled back in, hadn't got your full long rest yet. Astrophel, you have a semblance of this feeling that maybe Maeve has felt recently as you lie in your bag, beaten and broken yourself. Axor, you're relighting the fire, and Morgred, you're confused by this noise you just heard, and Rice, are you still fluttering about?
I think Rice goes back to writing and trying to craft various spell circles and find components for possible spells that he might cast in the future, especially after he felt more effective than he ever has in any sort of defense or fight. There's a point in him that really, really liked that power, that the effectiveness, and so he's gonna continue his search, even though he has a big searing burn from a guided bolt in his chest. He'll probably do that until he falls asleep with like decayed mushrooms and pieces of bark on him.
The lot of you sit at camp, accomplished in your first of mostly many fights. As the night continues on, you have no semblance of what daylight is or morning, as you're still in the shadows. However, after time goes by, Maeve, Astrophel, and the rest of you that need sleep have awoken from your long rest. This day you awake, you hear no birds chirping, nothing from any of you that have lived outside of the bastion, outside of the shadows. It's unnatural, it's unnerving being here. But for some of you, this darkness feels familiar, it feels like home. You may not be ready to go out into and leave this shadowed land, but you have all awakened with all of your hit points back.
I think the first thing Rias does, he didn't set up a sleeping bag or anything like that. He's used to roughing it in the natures, especially when he's hard at work at his craft. He falls asleep pretty contently, but in waking up, I don't know how to explain it besides I think this is how a lot of people feel about living in like Seattle, Pacific Northwest, where it's constantly rainy and they don't get sun for more than like 10 minutes every year. I don't think he has since rested outside in a position where he actually is just waking up to bleak gloom and utter despair, though it doesn't mean him any direct harm. It's just the hopelessness of that kind of hits him off the bat in waking up. Is anybody else waking up as I wake up too?
Yeah, I think Haster. Yeah,
For a bit, Axer kind of stepped away and then came back.
I think Astrophel, yeah, is probably waking up. Probably still looks like shit, and is fussing over their hair and has taken their least favorite shirt and ripped it into strips and has bandaged up their hands because I imagine, although I have my hit points back, probably still look like shit. And appearances are everything, darling.
I think
I'm
Riot-
already like, sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say I think Raya sees that everyone's starting to stir a little bit, and once like there's like eyes open and he can see everyone's awake, he says, "Waking up here sucks. Does anyone want to play catch with a ball or something like that? No, any win?" He's saying this kind of jokingly, but like there's a true sincerity of him being like, "Where's the actual fun here?" And he's gonna get up and actually investigate the bodies. If anyone had any sort of spell books, scrolls, or anything like that might be able to help him learn more magics, he's gonna hunt that down. But he's doing it like.
Sweet Pea, quick question. Do you have father issues by any chance?
I don't think so.
Interesting.
I mean, I was kind of raised in a community, and I had many parental figures, you know, in certain ways. But it's that was a common thing I was able to experience in this community. Everyone was at least game to game, you know, and
Would you say they were gamers?
oh, they rise up like a game person, a gamer would, to the occasion. Actually, one of my friends was a champion of Pog. You know that game where you had like the little caps of usually of milk bottles.
How fucking dare you bring Pogs into this?
Well, he was a Pog champ.
So Morgrid has
We're gonna get
been
cut
awake.
by Twitch.
Check the chat. Check the chat right now. If there's at least
What?
one Pog champ in there, I will self-immolate. I'm joking.
I was about to say, until you said that, I was gonna make that one Pog champ's gonna be me.
Do it. I did not mean to cut you off. I am so sorry. Go ahead, Jane.
Oh no, it's fine. Morgrid, she's been dressed for a while now. She's kind of just sitting 5 feet away from where everyone else is laying down, sharpening her daggers and weapons. And she kind of stands up and turns around to Astrophel and Rias, who have been chatting a little bit. And she just says, more importantly, what the hell was that last night? Where'd they come from?
I mean, it was dark, and I was a little distracted. And then suddenly there were lots of them.
I roll for investigation to look at their clothing, etc. Try to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would.
And I was going to say,
Classes
Rias, I know you
like
were
that.
going to be looking as well.
Yes. And where they came from? Where did they go? I mean, where did they come from? I cannot fit
Cotton
Cotton Eye
Eye
Joe into this.
Speaking of cotton, their clothes. Like, how fashion forward is their gear?
A lot of it is tattered on the outside. However, on the inside, there are nice, like, long button-down shirts. Over top, maybe like vest or like overcoats that are underneath these tattered robes. Some of them have some fairly good fashion.
For Astrophel's benefit as well as mine, are there any that weren't too fucked up by injuries that I could get some good clothing out of this?
So one was incinerated, one was witch bolted, the other
was iced.
The other was iced and exploded, and the other one was torn to shreds.
So no.
Yeah, I'm gonna say probably a no on this one of finding
that's
anything.
The iced
wearable.
one might be able to though, because they're
The pants,
frozen
maybe.
and like you said, describe the limbs got destroyed, but you said like they kind of crystallized out. Oh, out his chest. Oh, like chest burster style. I thought you.
went.
The pants and the shoes might be good.
Oh, no shoes. They're
and-
probably wet right now.
And okay, maybe a hat.
Ooh, the guy with the hat? There's only maybe a little chunk missing out of the hat in the back.
Darling, do I look like the kind of person who wears a hat?
Anyone can wear a hat if they have the head to wear it.
I look fat. Well, apart from the hair issue at the minute, I look fabulous. I'm not going to cover this up with a hat.
I don't want to say your loss, but your decision. I'm not going to force you.
Morgred and Rias, upon searching the bodies and what you are able to find, what were your investigation rolls?
11.
It was a 19, and I remembered why I wanted to try doing this right after the fight, because I had Bardic Inspiration, and now I don't.
Morgred, you have a hard time finding anything in these bodies that have been destroyed, and Rias, you are looking through. You're not finding a lot that hasn't been destroyed. However, you do find some wooden stakes, some tipped with points of silver, and there are other like silver items, one of which appears to be a spherical little orb that is made of silver, and it has very intricate designs on it.
Silver orb, intricate designs, you said? I pick up the orb and hold it up to a sun that I really can't get any sort of help from, and I'm like, well. What does this do? Anyone know? Astrofel, you've had experience with these guys before. I don't know what this really does. Do you have any idea? It seems like that one was intimate with you.
Sorry, what are you showing me? What?
I have this little silver orb, and there's like details on it and all this fun.
Can you roll me an investigation, Astrofel? Or, I'm sorry, a history. My apologies.
Oh, history, okay. Slightly better. Not slightly better. I'm gonna use an inspo on that, actually.
Okay.
Oh, that was worse. Fuck my life. So the highest roll out of those two was a 12.
You've got no fucking clue as to what he's holding. Could be valuable. Looks like it's made of silver.
I mean, it looks shiny.
And I roll Arcana to see if there's anything about this that I might be able to recognize.
Absolutely.
I rolled my portent rolls for today. It was a 9 and a 10, so that's going to be very helpful for mostly nothing, but we'll see. If that is Arcana, that is a 21.
Rias, you are holding in front of you an arcane explosive. This is meant for monsters of the variety that are vulnerable to silver. In fact, this is a small explosive that sends out silver shrapnel.
Silver shrapnel. I think in the process of me investigating this, I probably like skim my finger down the side of it and like try to trace the designs in it. And in doing so, part of my brain just thinks, "Oh, this is gonna push things out. There's force in this baby boy. If it's silver," I shake it a little bit and you hear, it sounds like a light bulb that burnt out. So there's a little filament bouncing around. It's a bomb. Put it in my pack. It's fine. It's fine. Strange. Monster hunters, though. Yeah, makes sense. Silver scrap.
Maeve and Exer, what are the two of you doing currently?
Axer's sitting beside Maeve's sleeping bag.
Well, Maeve has not gotten out of the sleeping bag yet. She's just sort of like staring up into the sky, existential crises style. um, I think the fact that she's just like tortured for 4 days is sort of kind of heavy on her head right now.
I think seeing her just gonna look up in her view, she'd see between like two like pointer and middle finger like a vial just held out like above her head, and just kind of wiggled a bit.
I'll take it. It's much nicer than my mouth isn't burning. And thank you.
You're welcome. Maeve, I have an odd question.
Okay.
Would you ever forgive Hoster? You did.
Can I get back to you on that? I mean, we're traveling together, so just I need a few days. I don't know right now.
Fair enough. Axer gets up and turns to everyone. I'm going to give a light content warning for anyone listening right now for what's about to happen. Because this is something I realized. I put... anyway, Axer kind of steps out. I've said before that she always knows. She always listens. I know how that is. I've never been solid enough to do something about it. As Axer takes his dagger and plunges it underneath his right eye socket, and I'm not going to describe the rest of that, but he is going to tear out the hag's eye he has. And the moment it's out of his body, he is going to stomp on it.
It falls to the ground, and with a crushing foot, you just see this green smoke dissipate from out of Aster's foot.
Does Maeve realize that this is Haster at this point?
I think if Maeve doesn't, Axer looks over and goes,
Okay, just
I am
make
not.
sure.
I am not going to lie to you anymore. I am not going to be someone I am not, unless it furthers our cause. My name is Hoster, and you can hate me as much as you like. But she will not listen without asking. Does someone have a gauze? I am bleeding a great deal right now.
I have strips of shirt already. I'm just like bundling some up, and then just like, come here, Dehak, come here. Just like patching up your eye, wrapping a bandage around your head. You got a little eye patch going on right now. That was incredibly wonderful and stupid and terrible and scary, and I'm very proud of you.
My depth perception feels off.
Yeah, it probably will.
Hmm.
How do you feel?
Solid.
Okay.
I don't know the consequences of what I just did, but I have never been able to. I've always felt this humming and this buzzing, like insects like bees. But until this ring made me not slime, anytime I tried to scratch that itch, if you will, I couldn't reach it. I'm in a form where I could reach it. That was surprisingly painful.
Pastor, there will be
think
consequences. But you will not face them alone. Never again.
Damn right. I high five.
Or let's not face them at all and let's get the f- away from the Blood Right Bastion, because I don't want to go through whatever is gonna be the consequences of that.
As long
You're
as...
welcome to stay away, but I don't think this will be over without going back. I don't think it's as simple as tearing out an eye.
It's not. I don't know.
None of you are bound to this, and I would not ask anyone to come back. And I'm certainly not planning on going back right now, but
No, absolutely not.
at some point we will. And I wouldn't ask any of you to come with us. It'll be your choice. All of you.
I think this whole time, Maeve's just been standing there, sort of just staring at you guys. She's gonna ask, did all of you know that was Hoster?
No. Well, I threatened them.
No, you didn't. No more lies.
Yes, okay, they knew, but it was because I didn't want you guys to go alone. I considered staying back because I know you don't want to be part of the Bastion. But then I realized I didn't. Well, I could pull the eye out, which maybe I should have tried earlier, but I'm not sure. And yeah, so everybody knew. And I don't know if Mother Kadira can do things from a distance. I know she can't hear us anymore or see. So that's a plus. I'm sorry.
Well, it sounds like we should start moving away from her, the last known position that she has of us.
Agreed.
That's all Maeve's gonna say, and she's just gonna start packing up her stuff.
Morgred kind of mumbles under her breath. I told him it wasn't a good idea to come.
I fly over.
didn't.
I did. That's
So
why
you
he
intend
came
to leave him behind?
No, I just told him it.
All this talk about us being friends and hanging out and wanting to keep Maeve around, but you were perfectly willing to throw Haster under the proverbial cart.
No, I discussed with Rias that we were going to go vouch for him to Maeve and that she probably wouldn't want to see him, but he decided to come with and change his form to come with us.
This is true.
Yeah.
And what would you have done when Maeve turned around and said, no, I don't want anything to do with Haster?
Let her go.
Oh.
At this point, it doesn't matter. We just need to move. We need to go, because she's going to be sending somebody out after us now. I, for one, don't want to be caught by them again, so I think we just need to go right now. We can deal with it later.
Walk and talk. Let's Let's go. I will say, I am more than excited to experience this redemption tour since, truthfully, I think it is absolutely worth earning that trust back again. Maeve, I am horribly sorry to be the first to actively deceive you about Hoster and his alter ego, Axer. Honestly, bad naming convention. It came from that horrible children's book, The Gorax, and
You told me it was a good name.
it
You-
was a good name. No,
You
the
seem
name-
so excited about this, and now
The
you're telling
name
it's not a good naming.
No, the name itself is good, but the origin of it, I am.
Are we still
regretting
doing
since
the
moment.
lies thing to make each other feel better? Because I would have rather heard a lie about that.
No,
my-
I still think the name is good, but I am horribly regretting where it came from as well. The lie about who you are and the book, it always comes back to the book. There's not even a spell in it.
Maeve is just staring at you with a blank face,
Maeve,
and she just turns around. Yeah. Yeah. So she just turns around and just starts walking the direction that, we're supposed to be going. She doesn't say anything. She just looks at you like,
I have a very important question for you all as a group. You have the option to continue further south, slightly away from the route, to eventually have to cross the river to get back to the trade route, or you can go back north, northwest, and move towards the trade route.
If we're wanting to get further away as soon as possible, we'll go for the river.
Down, down, down by the river.
You all travel for a few miles as you hear the sound of this river next to you. It's a river you've crossed before with the wooden bridge. However, you're at the precipice of the Shadowlands going into the light. A few more steps forward, and you are fully into the sunlight. And that is where we are going to end for tonight. Make sure to check out not only our Patreon, where you can find cool bonus content, lots of things. We've added in some maps, added in some post-show talks. Make sure you check it out. I've got the link right there. And then also make sure to check out our Discord, because there you can chat with the cast, you can talk to other fans of the show, you can go into the character channels, and also check out our other stream that will be this coming Tuesday. Only 2 episodes left of that one until the season break, season finale. So make sure you check it out. And until next time, we'll see you all later.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Don't you dare let the sun burn you on the way out.
Why? I'm Ash now.